background. Waiting on Logan, who's on his way. Let's see here. Let's see if this works. We'll know momentarily. I think it did. I think it worked. I think I fixed it. We'll know. Yeah, like I said that already. We'll know moments. It's working. I fixed it. Ha 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 ha. I'm glad that worked. I was a little nervous. Hey everybody, it's Sean Shapiro here, and this is Ask a Traffic Cop After Dark. And for the first time ever, I'm sporting a 34-inch super duper widescreen that I picked up at auction, no less. And I'm pretty excited about it. It's pretty awesome. And I even made, maybe I wait for this song. I made this song to play when Logan gets here because it's in honor of him. But it's I gotta wait for him. So we'll play this song in the middle. No, that's not this. This is the one. I've been doing this or playing this song in the background whenever we're live for After Dark, and I like it. So we're gonna keep up with it. Raj46 says hola. Black Devil 1 says hi. We got a whole bunch of people that have been popping in through Instagram. Khan, Bizarro, Sonia, welcome. Clearview has joined. David, we've got we got 73. We'll call you that. Liz Chu, good evening to you, Professor. Then we've got Druv and Abby. Was this McMill Mom, Collins, Kurt Lowe, how's it going? Who else we got here? We got a bunch of names. Oh, many names. Peter John William, welcome to you. Jay says hello, nice to see you again. Nice to see you too. We've got Nicholas Rizzi coming in through X. That is awesome. Let me know if the music's a little too loud. We are here for at least an hour, and I expect to be joined by my good friend Logan Grant, so I can play him his song. I'm just going to send him a chat now that he's putting the kids to bed. Okay. He will message shortly. I'm excited. Are you excited? Logan Grant from Brooks, Alberta. He is a sergeant, a peace officer, a guy who does traffic stuff in Canada's Wild West. I'm really, I'm looking forward to having him on a regular basis. He's been doing it. He's here. Pedro, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Bizarro Sonia says, hey, hi Sean, how's your night? So far, so good. Captain Kirk says, it's Captain Kirk. I was at the auction today. That's where I picked up my brand new monitor. My new to me monitor. It's awesome. I've never had a monitor this big. What is this? Yay, Sean at night. That's Peter John William who said that. Yeah, things are good. Things are good. I've got a bunch of video. I got 3 videos we're going to respond to when he's in the room. But if you've got questions, we talk about this stuff. This is what I'm here for. It's all about answering the questions. I guess I don't want that bigger. I'm going to move this over here. That's better on this side. Because then my buddy's going to be on the other side. It's going to be weird. You know what I'm saying. Let's see who's in the chat. Oh. Okay. What is this? Nicholas says, now I know why you call this After Dark. Look at Logan. Yowza. Hubba. Really? He can. Really? All right. Now I feel, this isn't a competition. What are we, like a piece of meat? No. Nicholas Rizzi, who's not only a comedian, he's a regular contributor by way of chat. But let's see here. What's going on? That's working, but I may not have YouTube messaging working, which means I got to see what it says on the screen here. Stand by. We're checking it out. Oh, yeah, you see? Wayne says, evening, Sean, you there? I am here now. We were having some tech issues. Wayne says, working. Unfortunately, I had to use RTMP streaming to get in because the folks at Restream, who are awesome, occasionally have issues with stuff and things, and I was getting errors when I was setting up the show, and I was notified that there were 8 copies by Panda, 8 copies of the live stream generated, because every time it said try again, I did. And it just kept on making more. So obviously I deleted the wrong one. Okay. Liz says, or should I have said, good super early morning? No, it's good evening. I mean, depending where you are. Chase says, "Good evening from Alberta. Welcome, welcome." Oh, I'm glad that we have Albertans in the stream. That's going to make it all the better with the Albertan content because we're talking about Alberta laws. That's the thing. Going to jump in here. If you're watching on TikTok, do me a favor, please like, share, and let everybody know. Let everybody know that we're here. I'll turn on the like phone because that's weird. I'm going to share it too. Yeah, likes tell TikTok. And I was just at TikTok. I went there on Monday. I got to meet. I've now been working with TikTok for quite a while, and I've got a number of friends that are working there, people that I've become close with, and got a chance to see what's new there, what's going on, and they're still dealing with the fact that the government wants to shut them down. I don't get it. Great people, Canadians, some Americans, some people who are just awesome at what they do. Yeah, they've actually asked me if I are offered to let me use their studio. I think I'm going to do some TikToking from TikTok land. Oh, Kurt's at the new store. That makes sense why I haven't seen. I didn't realize the new store was open. Interesting. Do the same rules apply to cyclists as using your cell phone as driving? Sadly, no. Unfortunately, under the current Highway Traffic Act, the way it's written, a cyclist doesn't or cannot be charged for handheld communication charges. That's not to say that they can't be charged for careless driving, which is really what the handheld communication device charge was originally introduced to replace. It was a thing. It was that. That's what it was there for. It was to give you a lesser offense than careless. Okay. So yeah, we can still charge them for careless, and I think we should charge more cyclists because some of them don't deserve to be on the road or the sidewalk. Well, we know that in Toronto you can't be on the sidewalk. Paul says, "Howdy, y'all. Welcome, Paul. I saw that you joined Telegram, and I think I messaged you. I don't know if you messaged back, but I was going to suggest that you get onto our Telegram group chat. We have a Telegram group chat, and it's you can get to it by going to telegram.trafficcop.ca. Daniel wants to know what you're supposed to do when an emergency vehicle, and then he stopped. I want to know what else you want to talk about. This is good. So we're waiting for the man who's putting his children to bed. Good dad. He's a good dad. And it's a different time. It's only 7 o'clock by him. My kids are already asleep. I can't wait to play the music, the new music, because I spent was time that I took a break from working on the project. So if you haven't been following along, I am or have now begun going through the driver's handbook, this fantastic piece of literature, and I'm recording it page by page, and then we're talking about what I'm reading, and the whole idea behind it is to allow those who are having difficulty getting through it or understanding, comprehending. It's going to be so cool, I think. But in addition to just reading it and discussing it, once I'm complete with an episode, I'm going to make it available through. Have you ever heard of Synthesia? They make the AI avatars. So I've got an avatar of myself, and I'm adding the script. All the words spoken will be then fed into Synthesia, and we'll have an AI avatar of me reading it in a whole bunch of different languages. I'm excited. And apparently I need to make this bigger because this wildly high resolution screen has everything so tiny I can't read it. Yeah. He continued. He said, what are you supposed to do when an emergency vehicle passes you on a 400 series highway with emergency lights activated? Well, once they pass you, you go about your business. Until such time as they pass you and they've got their lights and sirens on behind you, you're still obligated to pull to the right, slow down, and come to a safe stop. Now, if you are traveling at 100 and they are not, you're not obstructing them, you start making your way over because you don't know what they're going to do, and let them pass you. Again, once they pass you, you go about your business. And Logan's here. I noticed you. I didn't see the chat maybe I did see. Well, anyway, you're here. Didn't hear the dingle dangle. I don't know why that audio doesn't come in. What is going on? Do I have audio for you? You hear me?
Yes.
I don't hear you, but I don't think you're speaking.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you laughing. Okay, we're good. We've got something going on.
Oh, God. Just trying to get comfortable here.
And why? Let me see what's going on. I'm not hearing you real well. Stand by, everybody. I'm just checking my system settings to make sure that I have the audio going to the right place from the right place. Yeah, it's going to the right place. Testing 1, 2.
I got you.
Oh, you're real quiet. Hang on. Try again.
Hola.
Oh, I know what's happening. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
I need you to put it on chat. Output.
I just had to do that. Mess with my
Yeah,
outputs.
look, I got the music going on to the other thing. Hang on. I'm going to break everything right now. I hope I didn't break it too bad. Hang on a second. The things might be. There we go.
We're good?
Now I hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you're coming in way
much
better,
louder.
even on my end. Yeah.
That's good. And nobody said nothing. But we had hey, fellow host. We got Hainsey who's popped in here. Let me just check all the rest of my settings. Since we're looking, I want to make sure I didn't break anything else. I did a whole reboot before. Yeah, that's on chat. That's good. Sounds. Okay, I think we're good. I'm doing well. It's so good to see you guys. All right, now I can move the music down again. I got some new music for you. Are you ready, Logan, for new music?
I'm hearing After Dark.
Well, that's the song you heard last time. I still want to make you louder. Okay, everybody else hears. Oh, maybe I could just turn the volume up on my headphones. Yeah, whatever. Rules for motorbike scooters. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Snow Girl says I can hear you. I can hear him fine. I'm glad.
Beauty.
All right. I am glad. Of course, I'm finicky over the setting. I like it to be perfect. Let's see. And you're boosted up. All right. How was your night, Logan? What's cooking?
Oh, just got the kids to bed. My wife's getting ready to go to work. So
you're quiet again.
Oh.
You were loud, and now you're quiet.
Yeah. Now I'm quiet.
We're going to boost you up a bit. How about now?
Yeah. You're coming in good at my end, so.
I don't know why. What's going on? Let's give me one more sec. I don't know what's going on. Things were great, and now they're not.
And then I showed up.
Oh. All right, well, I'm going to turn off the music until I figure this out. But now they're not. If I put you into here, some weird stuff's happening. I can't find my mouse. Okay, Logan, I think if I have you here, you're much louder. Like now you're loud. Now I totally hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, but why?
Is it the music playing with you or what? I can't see it being the music. You did it last time. There's no problem.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe this. Yeah, I don't know. Things that were working better before, but now they are whatever. Maybe I just check here. Audio. Oh. What if I do this? Yeah, that's anyway. Okay, we're moving on. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I want to play some music for you, but I don't want to break stuff.
Brutal.
Output. Secondary. Yeah, you know what? I can't control why everything changes constantly. Input. Where's tech support? Wait, I am tech support. Anyway, we're moving along because it makes no sense. So, what's new, man?
Nothing. Another busy day
That
at work,
much.
and just living the dream. You know, dreams can be nightmares, though, right? So, yeah.
Well, there you go. That's something. We've got someone from Alberta who is listening,
Oh, good.
and they said hello earlier, which is wonderful. And
Well,
just
hola
as
to
you
you.
came in, Ola, yes. Do you know that? Let's see. The username is. Let's scroll back. Oh, they're in YouTube. I'm pretty sure they're in YouTube. It's Chase. It's Chase. Airy. 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 Airy.
Doesn't ring a bell. I know a couple
Does
chases, but the last name doesn't ring a bell. So
okay,
I
fine
hope
then.
I'm not insulting them by saying that.
Hopefully not. Uh, it is. It would be bad. We don't want you insulting anybody.
No.
Okay. We've got Nicholas who's in here. He's got a lot. Oh, okay. Okay. I gotta play this one song. I know I said I wasn't gonna play songs, but I'm gonna play one song here. And again, I don't know why stuff and things aren't working the way I want them to. But okay, stand by. I'm gonna turn this down so it doesn't blast anybody. But this is Logan's song.
Oh no. I could only imagine, people. This is going to be epic. Crickets. I think I've even lost your audio now, Sean. So this is going to turn into the Logan show here in a second. We've definitely
What's
lost.
that?
Oh, there we go. There's Sean. There, you're back again.
Is it too loud?
No, you were gone. Like there was no audio coming from you. So I was going to take over your show for a minute, but the only comments I have are what's on Restream, and you don't want me to read these comments.
And it's good. It's great. I can't play it because stuff and things aren't cooperating. But I last time we had the music going nice in the background. It was
Yeah,
fantastic. It was
setting the
good.
mood.
Yeah, but now it's not cooperating, and I don't want to spend any more time figuring it out. We're gonna keep on moving on. Okay, so let's talk about questions because there's a whole bunch that
Yeah,
came in. We got everyone says they can hear him fine, but at the same time, I couldn't hear the music at the same time. Brad wants to know about how many times have you truly questioned your radar reading? I was clocked 15 to 20 over actual. So the reading came through at 15 to 20 kilometers over what your speedometer said? I've
yeah.
not
Because
had that
usually,
experience.
usually when we lock in a radar speed, it's a single speed. It doesn't give us a variation of 5 kilometers. So I don't understand what the 15 to 20
Well, I
actual
think I
means.
think it was 15. It was an approximate 15 to 20 faster than he was actually or believes he was going. And
Gotcha.
here's one of the things. Although 15 to 20 is pretty odd. The deal is that your speedometer is not accurate. You are underreporting. So you're traveling. You're usually reported to be traveling faster than you actually are. So if it's 100, you're probably doing 98. But
Yeah.
it's rare to be under. But we're talking ground speed, and it's possible they got a bad reading. I'm a qualified operator, and I'm very comfortable and confident of what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Likewise. I've been doing it for 11 years, and yeah, pretty confident.
Well, there's that.
It ta-
It's that
it's
regular
it's
use.
yeah, and it's a skill, to be honest. It really is a skill to know how the instrument works and the placement of your vehicle, the cosine effect, the whole bit, right? So not just anybody can do it. If you don't do it all the time, you dead. It's a skill you can lose.
100%. Now, if you, but let's see here. If he continues on here, what else does he say? I'm going to zoom in a bit. I'm going to make it bigger. I got a new monitor. Yeah, I can make it.
Oh,
This is so good. Now that I can see it, oh, I can read it without using magnifying glass. How do I feel? What is this? How do I feel? How do you feel about license plate cyclist over 18? License and plate cyclist over 18. This is Jay asking the question. Do I think that it should be a licensed plated driver rider. I do. I would love to see that.
On bicycle, like cyclists?
I think that cyclists should have licenses. They don't understand the
Oh,
rules.
wow.
And if they do understand the rules, many of them are breaking them. Why not get them to get a course, use a driver's license of some
Yeah.
kind? I know they don't like it. They don't want
Just
it.
the basic hand signals. I mean, that goes a long way.
Oh, the world for hand signals. It's too funny. Uh, the deal with cyclists that just run lights or just oh, you have this one did not go to bed. I guess.
No. He's supposed to be.
Right, Jack Raising joined, and just lots of confirmation that everything sounds good. But Peter John Williams says it's all on my end. Yeah, of course it's on my end. Everything stinks on my end. No, but we know last time that we had low playing music. That was awesome, and then we had our audio, and it was great, and it worked perfectly. And I don't get it. I just don't get it. I want to be able. Anyway, we're not going to talk about it. I'm over it. I'm not really over it. Okay. Brandon says, starting to get used to driving on the opposite side of the road. He's in Scotland, and of course they do things backwards there. But Ireland, they drive on the right side of the road. They drive.
Yeah, it's weird. And Ireland's one of the few places out there. Like my in-laws are all from England, so all of Great Britain, for the exception of Ireland, it's all left side, right? So it's just weird how they do it there. Yeah.
And the currency change. It's all different. But I recently went all over there and I loved it there. The Thin Blue Line Gaming popped in and says, "Hi Sean, how you doing today?" I'm doing great, and it's evening, but it's fabulous. Dolzy says, pulled over and car was OBD scanned and ticketed. Original reason to stop wasn't mentioned. Thoughts? Where are you? What province are you? This OBD scanning is not something I'm familiar with.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any officer doing that around here.
I want to know what province are you in, because that's news to me. This whole concept of scanning a car, like what's the scan for? What were you ticketed for? Like interesting. Bruv says all Audi speedometers are calibrated 100% accurate. I find that hard to believe. I mean, police speedometers are calibrated to be accurate because they can be called to testify in regards to the speed. But generally speaking, a speedometer is calibrated at certain speeds. They're accurate, but they're not.
It's almost like it's within a certain tolerance, almost.
Yeah, they all tend to underreport.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better to underreport than overreport. So.
Oh, Thin Blue Line Gaming says, "I'm actually Devin." Well, this is good, and he needs to. They need to add it back. It's the names. It was Halton Region who did the scan. But what were you ticketed for when you got scanned? Like, that's what I'm not clear. You got ticketed and it was scanned, but what was the actual charge for? Can you please say what your YouTube name is? Please and thank you. That's Liz or Liz. The name of the channel is VoiceOver Cop. It's the same on all platforms. And you can get to it by going to the link in my bio on TikTok. It's actually directly linked there. It's also, if you go to chat, or if you go to, trafficcop.ca or askattrafficcop.ca, you get links there. Chase says, "I'm from Longview." Chase is Albertan from Longview.
I think I've been up there once. Do a lot of training
once?
up in the Edmonton area. Yeah.
Okay, so that's Edmonton. I've been to Edmonton.
So.
I have family in Edmonton, but I have not been there in many moons.
I don't venture much higher than Calgary Airdrie unless I have to. So most of the time I'm up north in Alberta. It's for training. So
Brandon likes your Red Bull shirt. Fellow racing fan.
Thank you, Brandon. Yes.
And Chase is in Tabor, Alberta.
Tabor, yeah, that's
Chase is like everywhere. The man never stops traveling.
That's just about an hour from Brooks, where I am. So, actually, one of the officers that I work with, he's from Tabor. So,
do you just drive home every night?
Drive home every day, every night.
Wow! Chase, you can connect and get a ticket tomorrow if you want.
Yeah.
Justin Jr. wants to know how you guys are doing, and we're doing well. I can't complain.
We're good.
I think things are going all right.
Things are good.
Than my audio issues. Dolzy, I'm really curious about the whole Halton OBD business.
Yeah, because the OBD scanner, that's like that literally plugs into your computer in your car, right?
Yeah, I
So
mean they
then
have the authority to check, but what are they checking for?
well, that's
Mods?
it. What are they checking for? Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. And thanks for the gifts, Justin. I appreciate it. Justin sent a heart that I didn't notice because I've got so many different screens here. Did I tell you you didn't hear that I got a new screen? I got a new monitor today. I got
Yeah,
a
you
34-inch widescreen.
Oh wow,
It's big.
you got a good
It's
setup going then.
I had a 4K monitor, but this is a 4K super wide. It's just
Get
wild.
my big head in the picture.
Well, they're all over the place. You're on multiple monitors. You see everywhere.
I have an on-air sign behind me, and I went to turn
It's
it
not
on,
on air though. I can't.
and
I
it
don't see
was so bright that you couldn't even make out the words on air. So, just falling apart over here, Sean.
Justin Jr. says, "Oh, fancy those retirement checks are treating you well." No, I got this. I got this at auction. I paid $240 for it. I got a sweet deal. It's a $650 monitor that I picked up at auction at King of the North, and that's Kurt is Captain Kurt over here on Instagram works there. And what amazing! I've been scared to buy monitors because they're so they have to look good. They can't have dead pixels.
Yeah.
Somebody return one. This is other than a little scratch in the front of the bezel, I'm good.
Well, that's
And the
nothing
fact that
for
it's
what
white.
you're using it for.
Oh, it's great. It's
Yeah.
I'm yeah. I have to start gaming just so I can enjoy this. I've never had a curved monitor. Just anyway.
You know what you should do, and I don't know. I know you're retired and stuff, but there's a lot of people play the Grand Theft Auto Police version of the game.
I'm a Mac
they
guy. I don't think you can play that on Mac.
They've got guys have like full on TikToks about it. They go live.
Really?
They're pulling people over. They got the stalker radar in the screen. Like, it's crazy, and people.
I will
watch
have
it.
to look into it. I will have to.
You
look
should.
Into it. Janelle says, Sean, it is likely on your end. Both of you sound good on our end. Cool. Right Track Racing joined. What's going on? Can you get pulled over and ticketed for having a dirty plate? That's Sonia or Bizarro Sonia who wants to know. And the
Yes.
answer is absolutely. Dirty plate's an offense. $110 fine in Ontario. What's the fine out by you?
183, I believe.
183. Right on. I like it when we sound like a good deal. I like
Right?
in Alberta.
Me
makes us
just
look
being
like
honest, just making you guys sound like, oh, thank God
Well,
I'm here.
in some
stuff.
respects, yeah, because
Yes.
we are way higher when it comes. Like the consequences for stunt driving are way higher
Yeah.
here than by you.
And I can almost tell you that a lot of us here in Alberta would probably love to have what you guys run in Ontario for that. Even just for cell phones, like it'd be amazing to have.
Oh, you
what
mean to
guys have.
enforce the law? You mean that you'd rather have
To the
higher-
extent, like the punishment that comes with it, I would much rather that.
I think we're really aggressive when it comes to distracted driving, which is very important. I think it's justified. I think it is not so good when it comes to the lower things. Like our stop sign tickets are 240, 185. Like it's so cheap compared to you guys. What's your
ours
stop
are
sign?
$405.
$405
Yeah, and
for
3
a
points.
stop sign. I
Same
love that.
for
I love that.
same for red light. 405.
You see, I don't know why it's cheaper here for stop sign over red light. Maybe it's even $110. Why? I don't know why I'm thinking that, but anyway, it's there's no reason to make a discount.
Yeah.
Going back to Dolzy says that there was an engine light on. Let's see here.
Oh, interesting.
Cars modified but legally. Engine light was on for a P code. Emission ticket followed. That's I don't know. I've never. I mean, obviously, we didn't have that equipment when I was working there for the Toronto Police when I was on the road. I don't get it. But hey, I mean, if that's how they're entitled to do checks. I wonder. I've never looked at that. I got to talk to some people, see how they're doing that. Let's see here. Turbo Taro says, "Did you see the lady in the blue van driving while on the phone?" Well, oddly enough, let's play that video. Let's play the video. I look forward to this. Now I tried to line things up. I don't know where it'll fall, but let's see what happens when I press this button.
Someone come collect this woman right now. She was swerving left and
Okay, hang on.
right now. I was giving her the benefit of the doubt, thinking.
Yeah, no, but stop, pause. Okay, yeah, I want to try and hang on a second. How do I? Let's try this.
Oh, there we go.
It'll do because I want to like. It's better looking the other way.
Oh, look at her cross that line, eh? Holy moly! Yeah.
This is just
Someone.
just if I can. Hey, hang on, let me try one more thing. Okay,
We're professionals, I swear.
Oh, we're together. That's why. I tried to be all cool and
like ebony and ivory.
I thought it would be putting us on one side or the other. Okay, anyway, now we're in a better spot. And we'll play.
Come collect this woman right now. She was swerving left and right, and I was giving her the benefit of the doubt, thinking maybe she has alignment issues. But no, she's barely looking up. She's just going right and left. Can't stay in her lane. Almost hitting a pole. Running into cars. I don't know. Get this woman off the road.
I concur.
Like,
that was really loud. I apologize. The volume's pretty.
You know, you can't fix stupid, Sean, but you can give it a court date. And this is an example of someone who requires a court date sooner than later. I will reserve my other comments.
Well, that's full on the shoulder, not even trying to hide it. Like, if you can see her eyes just darting up occasionally.
I'd be charging her in Alberta for careless. I wouldn't even write this.
Careless and distracted. I do both. It's ridiculous. That driving behavior is absolutely insane.
It's dangerous. And anyone who thinks that, I'm just looking at it for 2 seconds. I'm not to get too off track here, but the average car at 50 kilometers an hour travels 15 meters a second, 12 meters a second. So the average person looks at their phone for 3 seconds. That's 36 meters you've traveled, and you haven't even looked where you're going at 50. How dangerous is that? You've traveled 36 meters with your head in your phone for 3 seconds, and you've traveled 36 meters. It is so stupid and dangerous. It's unbelievable. And then you factor in the higher speeds. That distance you cover, it gets even bigger.
100%. It's nuts.
It gets my goat.
Well, here's the wonderful thing, is normally we don't have the evidence to lay a charge when someone submits a video. But in this particular situation, there's time, date, location. I'm assuming we have time, date, location of the recording. You have a license plate clear as day, and they took the time to type it into the screen, and they have a visual image of the driver clearly engaged in doing what they were doing. There's enough evidence in that video to get a charge laid and a conviction registered.
Yeah, 100%. And so what's your so in Alberta we have a year. And it just got changed. We have a year to lay a charge under provincial legislation.
6 months for this.
That's what ours used to be.
Yeah,
and
I like the year.
Just last year, they changed it now to a full year. So.
Let's see here. Turbo says, can you issue her a ticket from this video? Please give her a ticket. She was driving so crazy on Sunday. Can you give her a ticket from this video evidence? Driving insane on the highway last Sunday. She almost sideswiped me on Sunday. Okay. Some duplication in the Care Bear Turbo. But I get your message. Yeah, I can't lay the charge because I'm no longer a police officer. I have left the job. But at the same time, absolutely, police could lay a charge based on that information. No problem.
Yeah. And, at minimum, I hope someone is doing their job enough to even just call the registered owner. If they're not going to do anything other than that, at minimum,
that's
call and give a tongue lashing. Like, that is,
What the problem is, do they care? Like we write to the registered owner all the time if there's no evidence or not sufficient information to lay a charge. Or calling them if they call us after we send a letter, great. And that's good if little Bobby's got the car. But it's if it's the wonderful human being who is doing that. Let's see here. A says, if only cops were calibrated to be accurate. Yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I get you're trying to make a dig, but I don't. It failed. It failed.
You'll be digging a long time if you're going to get to us. I've heard it all. So.
Let's see here. Tober police are jerks, according to Justin Jr. Oh, but earlier he asked about the fancy retirement chicks. I'm not taking a retirement check. But that's not the reason I got the monitor. Yeah.
You can't even buy a monitor.
No, and I wouldn't want to waste money. It's my kids' money. One day I'll have to leave it all to them. So maybe they'll like this monitor. Justin Jr. says it's crazy. People would rather play cop on a TV game than try and become one. Well, there's a lot less risk. Interesting conversation I had with my buddy who owns a race team, and he was saying that they have an e-circuit. Like you can become an e-racer.
Like a simulator.
Like a simulator racer, not an eraser, rubbing things out on the page. And he says that once people go big, they go prime on time, they make so much money e-racing that there's no reason to switch to car racing because that costs money and is dangerous. Yeah. So interesting. Sparky wants to know if your car registration needs to be renewed. If so, where do we go? Well, what province are you in, firstly? Because in Ontario, it automatically renews unless you have fines against you, and it's no cost anymore unless you're part of a certain group of people. Like if you have a commercial motor vehicle, you still have to pay to register. Yeah. But if you have, a motorcycle or a regular car, they say it in New York, then you don't have to pay to renew unless you have fines outstanding.
Yeah, and then in Alberta, in Alberta you got to do it every year or every 2 years, depending on what you pay for. So, and then it also depends on whether you have outstanding fines.
And I was just talking to my brother, and he's in LA, $800 US to renew his plates. Yeah. They hate drivers there. I think they hate everybody.
That's California, right? I'm going to sound stupid. That's in California, right?
That's in California.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I don't want anything to do with that state. Terrible state.
Sorry if you're from California on here, but yeah.
No, I think they know. If they're from California,
they know. Sitting there with their vegan salad and their dogs on Prozac
and the unhoused taking a leak in front of your restaurant.
Yeah.
I went there to visit my brother, and I stepped over bad stuff, and then bad stuff was happening while I was eating lunch on the patio, and bad stuff. Like, it was just bad and smelly. It was smelly and bad. But I was sitting on the patio with famous people while the smelly and bad stuff was happening.
Well, that's good.
Not for me. Brandon's calling it a night. He has a family wedding to cook for later today. Ooh. It was 2 a.m. for him anyway. So, I think you have permission to go to bed. Have a great night and a fantastic
Best of luck with that. Have fun.
Brandon, you're awesome. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Car is modified but legally. Schedule 6.1. What can you find on it? Ontario courts. Schedule 6.1. This is likely a charge in relation to the emission codes that were factored into the Highway Traffic Act here. Sorry as we jump around a little bit as my totally perfectly and flawlessly going show. I keep running Hunting Sniper, the game, instead of hitting my app for Highway Traffic Act. I didn't know.
You love that game so much.
I do. I don't know why I like
your thumb automatically goes there.
It's what it, and they don't look the same. There's nothing familiar about it. Nicholas Rezzi says, I played Grand Theft Auto Police Mission. I just shoot the criminals or blow up their cars to pass the mission. I didn't know was playing those missions wrong.
Yep. Gets it done every time.
Oh, well. Let's see here. Schedule 6.1. If I just look up, it's OREG 6.1 maybe. No. I'm not looking at it properly. 6.1. Can I even look up 6.1? I'm looking for... See, I don't see schedule here. If I look up emissions...
That's one thing in Ontario. You guys definitely have a lot of laws when it comes to emissions, like e-testing and stuff like that. We don't have that out here.
We don't have e-testing anymore, really. What is the Schedule 6.1? I got to look that up separately outside of this app, because I see the new laws as being 75.1 sub 1 cause or permit operation of motor vehicle not in accordance with emissions regulation, $365. But I don't see. Let's do a googly go. Schedule 6.1 Ontario emissions. What can I find there? Schedule 6.1 cause or permit operation of heavy diesel vehicle. No, that doesn't work. Schedule 6.1 Operate motor vehicle malfunction indicator light on and active DTC. But that DTC is DTC not based on it being diesel?
Possibly, yeah.
Because sub 3, is it all 6.1? It's schedule 6.1. Oh, sorry. The section 1 is that. But then they have one operate motor vehicle visible emission. That's silly. Tamper with a motor vehicle. And these are $420 fines. Plus victim fine surcharge, I'm assuming. I got to look more into that. I've not spent time with 6.1. It's the first time I'm reading it. Okay, let's look at some other stuff. Can you issue a ticket from this video? Okay, we talked about that. Tell them to fix the roads. That's TTV gotcha. Too many potholes. There are, but we're in that season. Like they are fixing the road, but they would like it for 2 days not to be below freezing. They can't do it in the winter. They have to wait till it's a good temperature. Do you have the same thing? Like you have milder. Do you have milder winters or do you have heavier winters?
This year was a heavy winter, and our temperatures get stupid cold here. So it's all very dry here. So even our cold, we may not have the humidity with it. So it's just like a real stale -40. And then we get big dumps of snow, and we don't have much around us to block the snow. So we get tons of heavy wind, a lot of blowing snow, semis blowing over on highways all the time because we have no trees. Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing in every city, every major city at the same time of year, all the potholes start coming up, and you have to repair them at a certain temperature. You can't just put cold patch on it all the time because they don't last.
No, they don't. It's constant chasing. It's they need to make new roads out of new stuff. 3D print them or something. Lego, yes. TTV Gotcha says too many potholes and had 3 flat tires in 2 weeks due to potholes. What are you driving that you got 3 flat tires? I drive, mind you. Maybe that explains why I had my tire separation, the belt in my tire separated.
Yeah, you were saying that separated.
Quite a mess. But I'm curious to know what you're driving because our friend Erin Urquhart, who is a parking enforcement officer, had an issue with her vehicle, and I think they cracked a rim, and it was a tremendous amount of money to get it. They did apply. There is a program to get money back. So if you didn't know this, and by the way, Mimi, thank you for the gift. If you didn't know this, the cities you are traveling in are responsible to a certain level of replacing or repairing or at least paying you for the damage that they do due to the lack of maintenance on their roads. Yeah. They do have a level of responsibility. Jay, thanks for DTC being diagnostic trouble code. What do we got here? TTV Gotcha wants to know if you can even start a car in -40 with a couple of emojis there. And TTV Gotcha says, I have a 2019 Volkswagen Arteon with 20-inch rims. I don't know what an Arteon is. However, 20-inch rims.
But 20-inch rims, you've got no rubber. So.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of saving. I wonder if they would say, gee whiz, if you had 16s on it, you'd do fine.
Beautiful car, though. Don't get me wrong. But
what's an Arteon?
I have no idea.
But it's beautiful. You said it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
beautiful. Make it nice.
I assumed, yes. It's a Volkswagen. It's nice. Das Auto.
Peter John William wants to know. He says he wants our professional opinion on how you feel about police flashing their badges when they get pulled over. I had one last week.
I'm not a fan of tinning.
It's a tough situation. If it's something that's completely ridiculous and you shouldn't have done it,
own your shit.
You should just not identify yourself, because my father was always used to say, better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and erase all doubt. If you have an ounce of legitimacy to what you were doing, if it was for a purpose, if it was police related, then I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. On duty, off duty. If you're saying you're doing something for a legitimate purpose, I get it. Maybe you were following that guy over there because you saw something, you're getting information. But here's the deal. If you're putting it in my face to try and change the result of the interaction, not so good. If I happen to notice it, which is usually what happens, that's why people put business cards behind their, in front of their licenses, so they have to dig.
Yeah.
I'm just getting my stuff.
Exactly. That is just
but
in your face.
I love the stories the guy's digging through his license and he says, he sees the business card and he says, I see that business card. Who's that? He says, Oh, that's my cousin Sean Shapiro. I'm like, no kidding. I'm like,
Yeah.
that happens to everybody, right? Like, every cop's had their own business card stuffed in their face,
Yeah.
saying that they know that someone knows them. So I don't give out business cards, or didn't. I really reduced the business card giving.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're watching, this is the Ask a Traffic Cop After Dark. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a former police officer. On screen, we have Logan Grant, Sergeant with Brooks, Alberta Municipal Enforcement. And you got traffic and questions and stuff and things, police stuff, stuff about the jobs the job I used to do, the job that you do, which is different because it's not a police job. It's a very specific traffic job, which people in Ontario don't know what the story is.
Very niche.
It's niche. I'm so tempted. I want to be a cowboy. I want the Stetson. I might come work for you.
You should.
Where you can buy 2 houses instead of 1 because the price of stuff is less there.
Well, we don't have a provincial sales tax, so everything is cheaper.
There's a lot of good stuff there, and you can watch your dog run away
for a week.
For a week. A TTV Gotcha says, "I envy your beard, brother. Beautiful beard."
Well, you do have a very nice beard.
The beard is I question. I thought about just shaving it off, and we'll see what happens in 6 months if I get tired of it by then. But appreciate it. I am enjoying having a different look, and now I match my logo and stickers, and I can never shave it off. I said that today. I gave it to somebody, and I went to pick up my stuff, and the chap I was talking to says, "I just want to let you know I appreciate your videos." And he's one of the few people that made me feel small because he was a big dude. He works at the auction house.
I was gonna say, I'm a big dude.
He's a bigger dude. I'm 6'5", and he made me feel like a shrimp. But I dig into the pocket, get a sticker out, and I'm like, here you go. And now I feel compelled to say, and I can never shave again because I have at least 1,000.
You've got all this swag with a beard on it.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
It wouldn't be swag if you were clean shaven again. So.
But I'm doing the no carb thing, so maybe when I do a reveal, it'll be a totally different face under this thing. I won't even recognize myself. So it may be a thing I do. I think that the night vibe of doing this show at night is awesome. Love it. Yeah. Justin Jr. wants to know. It says here, what is it? I'd love a Toronto Police Service challenge coin. I'll trade you, Justin. If you got challenge coins, let me know. Well, we can do a trade. Do you have challenge? You did challenge coins.
Yeah, I designed a few, and I made a very limited number. And once I gave them all out, or I traded them off, that was it. I like to keep it shortlisted. Keep it very limited. Yeah.
What do I have? Some more I have the previous version of the Toronto Police Association blurry picture. Why is that blurry? You'd think. There we go.
There we go. Well, yeah, that's nice, eh?
Yeah, and they came out with a new one recently, and of course I have a traffic services coin, and then I think there's a general police one from the gift shop, less cool than the specialized unit ones. Just saying. Mike joined. What's going on? Hello, Mr. Mike.
Hola. I don't know why I say hola. I am not Mexican. I don't look Mexican. I sound Mexican.
I say aloha. I like aloha a lot.
Do you do the little dance when you do it?
I have to go get a lei, and then and then I also I grass skirt. Why not?
Yeah. A lei. I was like, for a minute, I had to take a second. I'm like, I don't know what a lei is. And then now
you get off the plane, you immediately get laid. It's a thing. They put it around your neck. It's the flowers. Right, it's the necklace of flowers. What did Blaze just sent me a link? Oh yes, I did see this. How do I do this on my phone so I can? So this is a pretty wild. Maybe I can get this. Hang on a second. If I got to import it, upload it, and then we can talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna pop into here and there. Apparently, okay, so there's a video. I've got a couple other videos to show you, but there's a video in particular of some street racing stuff.
Oh.
And it doesn't end well.
Smart people doing smart things, right?
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I think is the way to go with it. Okay, I'm doing some weird.
Or we call it FAFO. Fafo.
Yes, I do like Fafo.
Yeah.
And have you heard about Mr. Fafo? Anyway,
No, I haven't.
we won't get into that because he's
No,
an
okay.
interesting character who has, I think he's being arrested for stealing like $5 million that was
Oh.
supposed to be going to aid his people, but he's not an honest dude. So just saying, maybe not a good guy. Where did I put it? Okay, things are jumping into different folders. Here we go. I got the video. Now I got to send it over here. This is a little bit of moving around and doing stuff. Okay. I sent it. There we go. Maybe I can change the video. Let's have a look. We're going to pull up the other video we did. And I'm going to replace the video. Replace. Video.
Someone come collect this woman right now.
Stop. That was super loud and terribly annoying. And I'm trying to replace it with video. Upload. There we go. It's going to take a second to process. I don't know if I've gone completely outside of.
I'm still with you, if that helps.
Okay, you can hear me as long as.
Oh yeah. Still.
Because I'm in a dialogue box here uploading. Okay, I'm going to turn this down.
Keep an eye on the people in the back window.
Oh, man.
Get the shovels.
That's game over, dude.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's game over. That I don't think that's straight. Bam.
Like
You can't be. There is the level of stupid to do this stuff is so beyond.
Yeah.
What I thought was anyway. It's not even cool.
No.
It's not even remotely cool. Nellie's Firehouse says that kind of stuff keeps me in business with the jaws alive. Hell yes.
Right.
Yeah. I think you just bury the whole car. I don't think anyone walks away from that, or even.
No.
Well, maybe they're all loaded drunk and they don't even know. Bayman
and you know
says,
the sad part is it's a big SUV that hits him, and there's probably kids in the back. You know, it's Fafo. I mean, like 100%, and no sympathy here. Yeah.
Richard says, scary. And scary is absolutely accurate.
Yeah. But that's the stuff we see. You know, that's the stupidity. I had one here not long ago, about a year ago. And kids were on the roof of a Jeep Liberty in the Walmart parking lot and decided to fly down the back part of the parking lot, take the corner too hard, flip the whole Jeep. Ooh. 2 guys got ejected off the roof. And then one lady, her hair, she's lucky. She could have got scalped. Her whole hair was underneath the car. And myself and 2 other members had to push the car off of her hair. One guy lost his hand. Like, just pure stupidity at its finest.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
I don't.
There's no, like, life-changing for everyone else involved. Like,
and how about the people who, never mind injuries, they have to see that, to experience it. The impact to the emergency services people. I mean, so many. I got into big fights with some people who are very pro bicycle and not pro taking responsibility. But they basically they were offended that I said that when they cause collisions and they get hurt or killed, that they cause irreparable damage, psychological damage to those people who have to attend to them, being the first responders. And they were so offended. Offended.
They're dead. How can they be offended?
No, they were offended that I was trying to suggest that emergency services people have feelings and are negative, and because it was like, well, you signed up for the job, so you deserve that. I'm like, no, go take a long walk off a short pier. Nellie's Firehouse, and is it gaming? Because I can't see the last characters of it, but he says, being a firefighter, I can tell you some stories. I bet. Inside impact airbags. I don't know the context of that. Oh, impact airbags might save his life. Gotcha. Justin Jr. goes, WTF, oh my God, people are dumb. People are nuts. That's what he says. I'm just quoting.
Yeah. I was in the fire department here when I first started. I got all my fire training courses and stuff. I'll tell you, being on the fire department here and going to collisions as a PO, man, what a what an experience that was to understand how to size up a vehicle scene and a collision and everything else. And yeah, the stupid stuff you see, it's just.
But I didn't take you for a hose monkey.
Yeah. Yeah, well, when I first moved here, I was trying to make a difference in my
I'm
community.
kidding. I got to tell you, the best chefs ever, best cooks ever, the firefighters.
Oh, yeah. And you want to talk to someone who knows how to sleep? Let me tell you. They nap hard.
We're not, sleepovers are not a thing for the police.
No. We go up and down the pole, but, well, not up the pole.
They don't have poles anymore. Most stations don't have them anymore.
We got
really? I did go down one pole.
pole.
I'm not I got to tell you, I am a big fan of fire. We joke a lot. It's all friendly. I hope no one takes offense because I really have a ton of respect for firefighters. I would not do that job. Northeastern Ontario, we've had a few car collisions that were fatalities, and we're volunteer. Oh, really? Okay, yeah. You have even more respect because the fact that you put your lives at risk as volunteers is truly an act of service beyond that of the average person who decides to make $125,000 or more to do it. You're doing it for free. You absolutely have my respect. Jack says, I just got pulled over and got a hefty ticket for some reason. Respect police way more. Much love. Sorry, you got a ticket for some reason. Oh, and for some reason you respect police way more. What was your ticket for? I want to know what you were doing, why you got pulled over. Undead Neon, who drops in and says, hi, I'm Dory, which is the old code word for Sean. Don't forget to remind people who you are. So I will do that based on, the history of the channel. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a former police officer. I talk about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. I do it 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. Now we have Logan Grant, who's also here, and he joins me on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. But this is this Logan Grant thing. People don't understand. I got to put your logo. I got to put something up on the screen because Logan is a sergeant with the a sergeant peace officer in Brooks, Alberta. Yes,
you got it. You should get you see, got your little blurb down here.
I got to do that. I can totally do that.
Yeah. If I get a green screen, you can put me at the desk with the candle.
I want to do that. We need to do that. Here, look at this. And then we'll just do a little edity. Can I do that here? Okay. Logan Grant. What the heck was that?
Don't worry about it.
And I done messed up. Where's my? Oh, here we go. This is real technological advancements. There we go. And then we're going to say Sergeant. You had MP Sergeant, but it's Sergeant Peace Officer.
Yeah, PO/SGT.
But we're going to spell it out. I like spelling it out. I think spelling it out is cool.
I'm lazy.
Woo, it's too big. There we go. That works. All right, here we go. Are we? Does it work? Does it go?
Yeah, it looks good on my end. And it's got the red and blue flashy.
I like the flashy.
Yeah.
It's neat. David Moskowitz jumped in. What's going on, my friend? Bizarro Sonia had a close encounter a few days ago with a driver who did a U-turn, causing me to almost T-bone him. Whose fault would it have been? No signs posted. So in Ontario, a U-turn is your responsibility to ensure it can be completed safely. Now, you have a responsibility if you're approaching another vehicle to try and avoid collision, but at the end of the day, they are going to eat the brunt of it. Mm-hmm. Especially if it was such a situation that they turned into your path. If they were behind you and they just made a U-turn and they slowed down, made a U-turn, and you weren't passing, there's situations that would be weird. More often than not, people do really dumb stuff and they go into the right lane and make the U-turn across so they go into the curb lane, then cross in front of lane 1, which is the one closest to center, and that's where most collisions occur. Certainly, it caused a collision for a police officer a number of years ago. Terrible.
No different here in Alberta. I mean, we don't allow U-turns on residential streets or anything like that.
Yeah, we talked about the no 3-point turns.
So you have to do it in an intersection unless it's otherwise posted. But even like Sean said, when you're doing it, you still have to make sure it's safe to do so. You can't just flip a shitty and hope for the best. So,
do it. What are you? Who are you?
Sorry, we call it flipping a shitty out here.
I've never heard that. That is news to me.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We do it differently out here, Sean.
Apparently. a whole lot of different. Spider says we should plant flowers in potholes. Potted plants. Yeah, I get it. By the way, if you've got dad jokes, nighttime dad jokes, we should use them.
I'm telling if the people of Toronto put as much effort into the potholes as they do dead raccoons on the sidewalk, could you imagine how much less potholes would be in your city? I still will never forget that. Dead raccoon. You remember that?
I do.
And then it was there for like 7 hours, and people were like just bringing shit to make a memorial because animal control couldn't get there.
It's ridiculous.
It was amazing.
Spider says, wants to know if Mike Harris is taller than me. He is taller than me. He's one of the few guys who, again, makes me feel small. He's a big dude. He's an awesome dude. Very good friend of mine. Do I know Mark Baxter? I do not believe that I know Mark Baxter. Clearview Solutions says, go Ferrari, with a smiley face. Clearview Solutions is so. I made a video, and I've talked about this a couple of times because they keep popping in when I read their name. I have to tell a story. I put up a video that talked about dirty backup cameras. What's interesting is the overwhelming number of comments of people making fun of backup cameras, suggesting that they are a silly waste of time and that we have mirrors. Why bother? And they're not taking into consideration how much safer your vehicle is with a backup camera. Now, if you can't drive your car without it, that's not good. But if you have the backup camera, using it can make your life a whole lot easier and safer.
Yeah.
Especially with big old trucks. You absolutely see better with that backup camera than you could with all your mirrors and getting your butt off the seat and still, cranking your neck over.
I do think it's important to note quickly, though, that Ferrari is not as good as Red Bull.
Red
it was
Red
a dig
Bull
to
doesn't
me.
make cars.
So
Red Bull doesn't make cars.
But they got Max Verstappen. So
I can't talk about myself because I know nothing about it. But I will say, Clearview Solution makes a product that apparently washes the rear view camera in cars that are not so fancy that they come with it stock. So Clearview, gotcha. I want to see this product in action. Where are you located? Where is your biz? So I want to know more.
So, like, does it affix to the bumper?
I don't know how it works.
Or
I saw a video of it.
Tailgate or whatever.
I know not. Yes, he says. They say that Sean is our friend that said, "Wipe off your rear camera. Don't do that, people. Don't do that." And the crash was insane. Yeah. Apparently, I've been failing to swipe up and see the rest of these comments because there's a whole bunch that are here. Spiders said JFC, and you can decipher what he meant. What is this? Oh, apparently only the driver. So only the driver of the vehicle that was hit. So the two people were in fact unalived. And Clearview Solutions says, straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $100. I think it's $200. But anyway. Let's see here. I had to watch that video multiple times and then thought of sending it because it was crazy to see.
Yeah.
David Soheil. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Soheil, I think it is. Hi, guys. My name is Soheil. Currently, I have put my application with Toronto Police just to get some tips and key points for the interview. Be honest with yourself. Talk about the stuff and things. Have stories about things in your life that were important, challenging, difficult, how you overcame them. Think about these things in advance. Don't go there and they say, tell us a time when you dealt with conflict, and you're like,
yeah. What's that interview called? Where they?
It is a behavioral events interview, is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but like the way they ask the questions, there's like a name for that. It's a type of an interview where they have, so you have like your conflict, tell me a time about conflict, or tell me a time you went through stress. Anyhow, in my experience, the one thing you don't want to do is, so let's say you're in like security, for example. You don't want to put every example from that one job. You want to diversify your answers and your questions. You don't want to be too focused on one specific thing, because then they just get bored.
Give them variety, and they, if they don't look impressed, definitely change channels. Like if you're in I'm in security guy mode, and then you turn into I'm a gym rat mode, and then you talk about this time when you worked for McDonald's mode. Like change it up, and when they start doing this, it's good. And if they're just doing nothing and their pens aren't moving, you're not hitting the mark.
No.
And just as a tip, and for anyone, this is good for any interview. I like the question. I like to work things out verbally. So you ask me a question, and I will tell you in an interview process what I did, as well as what I didn't do, acknowledging why I didn't do it. Because very often they're looking for keywords and they want to know if you understand this point or that point. Well, if you give the quickest answer, you may miss a key point that you could get extra points on just by yapping a few more seconds and extrapolating from that the whole picture. Why did you arrest that guy? Well, I arrested that person because they committed an offense, and I thought about not arresting him, and how would that look to the public and the perception. You weigh out both sides, and you have a more complete picture, and I like that. And I think that those interviewing like it too. Bizarro Sonia loves how you have no filter. David wants to know what province we're in. I'm in Ontario. I used to work for the Toronto Police. And Logan, where are you?
I'm in Alberta. I'm in Brooks, Alberta.
Yeah.
Just down south, right between Lethbridge and Calgary.
It's a good place. It's a good place, and I got to come visit you there.
Yes.
Okay, what do we got here? Boom, boom, boom. Michael, I've totally been ignoring you in YouTube, and I apologize. Michael says, Republic of Ireland is left side of driving like UK. Europe is on the right. Toronto had bicycle licensing from the 30s to the 50s. Enforcement led to issue with police and youth. Costs money. Hard to make test for all ages. And an advantage to bikes is accessibility. License does not stop drivers from choosing to break the law. And 5M, what is this? I think is a thing for police, role play, in Grand Theft Auto 5. Interesting, okay. And did Sean get in touch with a person to make a complaint about the videos? This is the one for the DVP on the phone driving? Yes, I did. I spoke to both the poster and their fiance. I think it was fiance, maybe it was girlfriend, boyfriend. Anyway, I spoke to both halves of that relationship. Boom, boom, boom. Just catching up on all the things that I didn't mean to let slide. Lots of stuff going on this enormous screen. Yes, Chase Airy says there's two types of seasons: pothole season and winter.
Yep. And by the time you fix the potholes, we're back in winter again.
And Chase P says, I will have difficulty sleeping now that I have to think of Sean in a grass skirt. Okay.
Well, it could, we'll just, never mind.
Jimmy wants to know if cops can give you a ticket on private property, which is very interesting because it depends on the charge and depends on the province you're in.
Very much so.
Who's got no filter now?
Yeah.
Essential competencies interview, according to P Daddy 11. That's what an ECI, which may be the interview style that you're talking about.
Most police services use the same style. So
yeah, I'm used to calling it behavioral events, but essential competencies, because just to say competencies, great word that is hard to say for some, and apparently I'm one of them. Is high beaming oncoming vehicles to warn of cop ahead illegal? It's not illegal in Ontario. Well, technically, it's improper use of high beams, right? You're feeling
that's what I was going to say.
So you could lay a charge, but if it's momentary for communication, sometimes it's justified. Like high beaming someone who's high beaming you. How else do you tell them that they're high beaming you?
Yeah, it's the same here. You can be charged for misuse of your high beams, but people always try and find that little caveat. Well, is it illegal to do this? It's like, well, at face value, no. Like there's no law that says you can't flash people because there's police down the road. But you can be charged for misusing of your high beams.
But here's the real thing. Why would you do it? Are you trying to help this lone speeder to avoid him or her getting a ticket? Why? Because if they get a ticket, they might actually change their driving, which is at the time that if you're slowing them down, they're breaking the law. Better they should get a charge that change the driving behavior. You might save a life by letting them get caught.
Yeah.
But telling them there's cops up ahead, they change their driving for a few hundred meters. They avoid getting a ticket or a stop,
and they carry on to their normal thing.
And then and that same thing, my same issue with the whole radar detector business. I don't buy it. I don't think it's a good thing. They should be illegal. They should be outlawed. Yeah. Is there a different process when an off-duty officer gets pulled over? So no. And technically, like, here's the deal: if I pulled over a civilian, and there was a situation where I wanted to give them a break because they were polite, they were whatever, and that's my prerogative. And if I give a cop because they're being polite and they're a cop a break, that's my prerogative too. Giving breaks is an option. I don't have to write a ticket to everybody, which is good. And I don't think we want to change that. Professional courtesy is what it's normally called, but I can tell you that there have been police officers charged for impaired driving. There's been police officers charged with stunt driving. So just because you have a badge does not mean you're getting out of the ticket. Same.
Yeah. And, especially out here, I actually pulled over an officer the other day, not long ago, in a marked PC while they were working. Not an RCMP, but another peace officer agency who happened to be in our city, and he was driving and I stopped him. That alone is embarrassing enough when you see a police car pulling over another police car, and seeing someone giving him a tongue lashing.
All over the place, yeah.
Right?
Don't do that in my town.
But the thing is, it's you're there to set an example, right? And if you're seen doing that, they also don't distinguish between it being us or someone different. So we still need to hold even ourselves accountable at times.
For sure. And police, like Toronto police in particular, and I'm sure all other police services have the same thing, is they're tracked by GPS. Their speeds alert at dispatch as to how fast you're going. And I can tell you professional standards gets a notice when you go too fast. You have to answer to it. You might be justified. You might be able to articulate why it was appropriate, but you're going to be answering to somebody and doing a little dance and with a little bit of pucker going on. It's all about the pucker.
Yep.
I have a friend request from a local police division. Should I accept it? I get paranoid. It's possible that you liked something and they're just showing you love back. It may not be creepy, but it could be creepy, but it's probably not creepy.
Now, if they start messaging you, asking you to send them money, don't do that.
Yeah. Don't send gift cards. Greg Smith wants to know, does Logan Grant drive a motorcycle? You ride a motorcycle. You don't drive one, but do you, are you a motor guy?
No.
Do you have a motor unit?
I'm scared shitless to be on a motorcycle. So
really,
you're a better person than I am. We have bicycles. I ride a bicycle.
And you can put a baseball card in the spokes, and it sounds like a motorcycle.
Yeah. And I get to pull people over with the baseball card in it. It's awkward.
Of course you do. Derek Dunk 11 says, "Hi, thanks guys. You're most welcome." Jack, thanks for the follow. And Angelina. I don't know how to read your name, apparently, because there's missing characters from how I'm used to seeing it. In any case, can a G1 driver drive on a 400 series highway? And specifically, the answer is no. You may not. You can drive on actually, there is one time that you can drive on a 400 series highway, and that is with or while being accompanied by a qualified driving instructor, which is someone who is a professional driving instructor with an accredited program course or by the ministry. So your mom and dad, cousin, brother, unless they're professional driving instructors, cannot take you on a 400 series highway. And you can't go on roads that have a speed limit over 80 kilometers an hour, except for, I think there's a couple of exceptions listed in the handbook. And those are specific to, they're the only roads in or out of that community. You have to be able to go 90.
And in Alberta, we don't have any laws for that. The only laws we have for learner drivers, so our class 7 is your G1, is that the accompanying supervisor with them must be at least 18 years of age and have a full class 5, which would be an equivalent to your full G, and that they are not allowed to have more people in the car than there are seatbelts, which is odd because that shouldn't be for everybody. And then they're not allowed to drive between midnight and 5 a.m.
Same thing for us.
Highway 1, which is our primary highway, they can be on Highway 1, and our speed limit is 110. And they can be on that highway so long as they're... But the thing is out here too, and especially in rural Alberta, you might have one city, very small in the middle of nowhere, and in the next place or the next area that you could potentially buy groceries, you have to get on the highway to get there, right? So it's a very different lifestyle out here. We don't have overpasses in Alberta. Overpasses are not a thing. Nope, not a thing here. Unless you're in the major cities, Edmonton, Lethbridge, that kind of stuff, there are no overpasses because it's all farm fields on either side. So the farmers need to be able to dart over to their respective crops. So you just have people constantly crossing over in between 4-lane highways all the time. It's crazy.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Where acceleration is key. I just want to acknowledge the stupidest comment of the live stream. Uncle Goose 000 says, cat videos are better than washed out cops. Just saying.
I'll take that as a compliment. I did have
Well,
a shower today, so
well, there you go. I just love acknowledging the stupidity of some comments before I mute them and send them away. So
bye.
yeah, bye. They missed that. I already said hit. Well, actually, no,
Yeah,
they can still see it. I just muted them. I didn't block them. That's
there
usually
you
if
go.
they get racist or stupid, like beyond that, then I block.
Yeah.
But I try not to block. They're just muted for today. And Justin Jr. quite rightly said, Uncle Goose 000, then leave. Nobody said you had to stay. Thank you, Justin.
But where would we be without trolls? You know?
I actually I have to tell you that I appreciate trolls. I don't want more of
Yeah.
them, but I love being able to give them a hard time because
Yeah.
I find
You
you know,
get what you give.
Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, talks about the fact that you have to consider the person on the other end is probably going through some trauma, like maybe he was never hugged as a child, and what really you should do is have compassion. And I realize that Gary V is wonderful, and I love him and his business acumen and social media stuff. I've read all his books, but in this particular situation, I'd rather slap the person and verbally and move on.
There you go.
But that maybe that's because I was a cop and I have no problem with that, except when it violates rules and regulations. James JS12 says, "Pull a Yui" is what I say. Yeah, it's better than what do
Flipping
you
a
call it? A
shitty.
shit? A what?
Flipping a shitty.
A
Yeah.
shitty. Okay, it's still.
Shitty,
I still can't. I can't.
yeah.
Jazz Deep says we need more education on how to drive around a semi and merging on highways. Merging on highways is a huge thing. People
Don't
have
need.
no
I
idea.
got
No
that.
idea.
That drives me nuts.
Yeah,
And we
it's no
don't
good.
have a lot of like you guys act. Do you not? If memory serves, you have a law that says so when someone's merging onto a highway, you have to yield to those merging vehicles. Is that not accurate for you guys?
No, you can't actively prevent someone from changing lanes.
Okay.
That would be stunt driving, but you
Yeah.
don't have to let them in. They have to adjust their speed to make a safe lane change. If they get to the end of the merge on ramp lane, whatever you call it, no one zippers, no one allows. They might have to stop. It's not safe, but there's no obligation. It's your lane.
Yeah.
They have to, but they should, people need to know how to get on. And there should be, like, I change lanes to give up that whole lane and let people do things safely.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with it. Like, I don't want to have to, roll the dice. And I hate the roundabouts because it's playing chicken every day. Nobody knows how to use those either.
And but
it's so sad.
if you know how to use them, they're awesome. They
Yeah.
keep the flow of traffic moving. They're great for traffic calming. They're amazing if people know how to use them. And I think if
100%.
we had more of them, we would get better as a society using them. But there's
Consistent use.
just like out here in Alberta, like I think Calgary might have 3 in the entire city, and they're probably the only one in down south that have them. So people just don't. You just don't get to use them enough to know. But they're great if you know what you're doing.
I agree. I would like to see so many things, but the problem is it all starts in road design. I hate to give credit to this because so many bicycle people tell me we need to have better infrastructure and road designs to protect vulnerable road users. I'm like, we need to enforce drivers from doing stupid crap on the road because they're responsible for their actions. And while I appreciate taking up half the roadway makes it safer for the 5 or 10 cyclists I see in a day, I'm not a big fan of them because they just make driving completely useless in a city, which may be the environmentalists' joyful reasoning for harassing motorists. But
Yeah.
I'd like to see strict enforcement and consistent design in Toronto. Bicycle lanes in particular, every intersection is different. There is no consistency, and thus, how does anyone develop a skill set that is easy to say I know how to do this? Because you're like, what is this one going to be? What are we dealing with today, sir? Like it's wrong.
Yeah.
Pravin says my friend did a hit and run and got away with it since they couldn't prove the driver. What do you do? Go turn yourself in. Your friend's a goof. Hit and run. What kind of question is that? What do you do? What do I do? We get information. We do investigations when I was a police officer, and we tend to find the people eventually.
Yeah.
Depending on the level of severity, we're also looking at body shops and things. But what you should do is tell your friend to be a grown up and not a pathetic excuse for a driver or human. Like, just what a terrible thing. And you may be a great guy, but your friend's an idiot. Okay.
Amen.
What the heck? I don't know what. Is Logan from Okatoks? I don't know where Rocketox is.
I don't know either. I wish I
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
I
but then
can be
you'd
if you'd
able
like
to
me to
answer.
be.
Yes, yeah, you can be anything you want it to be. Caesar says, oh, okay, well, this is a conversation with Justin Jr. Jack says you have a very soothing voice if no one has told you. Never heard that before. No, I have. I've heard
Yeah,
that. Thank you very much.
every day.
Kev C9. Oh, you know what I forgot to talk about? There is a program that I just had a great meeting today. Totally forgot about this. I had a great meeting with it. I'm partnering with, I partner with TURF anyway. TURF is the Traffic Injury Research Foundation. They're awesome people, and they are running with a program. You know those apps that you can get for your phone that the insurance companies give you so that you get a discount?
Track your driving, yep.
Yeah, I never want to install one of those, me personally. However, there is a program. It's a game right now. They're gamifying the whole concept for a research project. They're not reporting anything, and I actually believe them because it's TURF and they're good people. But they're not. They have $100,000 prize, as well as all sorts of other prizes that you can get on, and you can actually compete across Canada to see if you're a good driver and safe, and from that they get to determine all sorts of cool things. So I'll be putting links and stuff and things. I thought that was really cool. Herb says, buddy, what he says, buddy, who even cares what you say? Herb, are you 5? Who talks like that?
Was it all in caps as if he was shouting?
No, he wasn't in caps. So he was like, who are you talking to? Anyway, Pax wants to know if we can operate fog lights in any color as long as my headlights are white and yellow.
Gotta be clear.
Any color? No.
Gotta be white.
What is it? Just white for you? Because we can have white or yellow.
White or yellow, yeah.
Same as
us.
I mean, okay.
By yellow, I mean like the typical yellowish light. I'm not talking
amber.
Yeah, exactly. Amber, yeah.
It's the amber yellow, but yellow is yellow. I think you can argue that. We have, what's the question? Somebody asked me that I scrolled over and forgot. Oh, we were talking about underglow. Someone asked if underglow is legal. Can't find it. You Googled and you can't find it. Underglow is a long and involved story. Let me start back in 1970. No, the story with underglow is that it's not specifically listed in the Highway Traffic Act. Is underglow specifically listed in your Traffic Safety Act?
Not as underglow, but we do have legislation that speaks to like lighting under the car, and that it is illegal mainly in the like while you're operating. Well, so, for example, if you go to a car meet, you can go park, turn them on, have a good time. But as soon as that car goes into motion, they got to be off. And that's underglow. That's lights up in the wheel well. Doesn't matter. Can't happen.
That's cool to know.
While you're operating.
I like that you actually have it in the rules.
Yeah, it's under our vehicle equipment regulation.
Aaron's pissing people off because he's like, ask me again, or he's asking and people are like, stop, he'll get to you. Yeah, Aaron, this isn't an instant response kind of gig. Okay. The deal with underglow in Ontario is that you can't project light forward that isn't white or amber. You can't project light back that isn't red or
white.
No, you can't project white back. Rear, sorry, it's amber or red to the rear. It's white and amber to the front. You cannot project rear. The only white light you can have on the rear of a vehicle in the province of Ontario is the license plate light, which must be 3 candela. Yeah. Justin loves motorcycles. Aaron says, hey, boss, quick question. Is it illegal to have a loud sound system? Having one isn't a problem. Using it and being loud could be a problem.
Yes. No difference here. Cause, make loud, excessive noise.
Yeah, the deal is that if you make noise, it could result in a ticket for unnecessary noise, and the unnecessary noise situation is a ticket. Is a $110 ticket, I believe.
And even here, you could even be charged for stunting if it's very loud for us anyway.
That's just wild.
Yeah,
I love.
Again, it's not the word stunting. It's defined as something else, but the easiest way for people to understand is stunting.
I appreciate that. It's a little different. One sec. Did I do this? How did I do that? 1 second here. I found Herb. I can reply to Herb. Oh, look, they've changed something. I muted Herb. It looked different than the last person I muted. Are you retired now? Is this a full-time gig? Murphy wants to know. So I've left the police service, effectively retiring from law enforcement after just under 25 years, and I've started a not-for-profit. The not-for-profit organization is called the Canadian Organization for Better Traffic Safety and Education. So my goal is to make traffic safety education better across Canada. And we're doing that with the help of some of our sponsors. So we're looking for more sponsors, and we are having a lot of fun doing it. This is something that is going to grow and take on a whole new life. Not only is it a live stream, we're doing educational campaigns. We're partnering with partners like the Traffic Injury Research Foundation. We are doing lots of stuff and things. And it is a full-time gig, although I do a lot of other stuff too. I have multiple full-time gigs now that I'm no longer a police officer. It's amazing how that works.
Got to stay busy.
Gotta stay busy. But I also have the flexibility to do other things.
Yeah.
We covered that. Medicine Hat has underpasses. Okay, we said some places. Is purple 30% tint inside windows legal in Ontario? So anything that prevents a police officer or person from the outside not to be able to see in could be obscuring the interior of a motor vehicle ticket, which is $110, and you can have that escalated until it's thousands of dollars because you could get a court summons. But that's for the windows left and right of the driver. Essentially, 30% light blockage, meaning 70% of the light gets through, is legal for certification for safety. If it was more than 35% light blockage, you could have your license plates pulled. But the obscuring the interior charge would apply to 30% in any color. What about you guys? What's your tint biz?
We don't allow any tint.
I think that's
Zero.
a good thing.
Driver side window, passenger front window, and windshield. Zero tint. Can't have any. No window glazing is what we call it.
Rear windows as well, or just the windows left and right of the driver?
Left and right, and front windshield. Everything else can be as dark as you want.
Okay, that's pretty much the same thing here. Although I was really,
but you allow some though. We don't allow any.
No, I appreciate that, but the rear windows we allow. Some states say that SUVs can have the rear tinted, but cars cannot. Like it's weird. It's a little bit weird. Scroll down the chat, Lewis says. Yeah, we're getting there. Bayman 1978 says, sitting in a Tim's and watched an older man going around 3 times and didn't know how to get out. Going around 3 times in the roundabout or going around 3 times in the drive-through because he just kept on asking for cream. Caper guy says, same here in Nova Scotia, underglow not permitted while vehicle is in motion on traveling on the road. It makes sense. Yeah. There's no good reason to have it. You don't need to have underglow. It's a thing. You might like it, but it's not. It doesn't help you. It does not do good things for anyone. Please have a commercial driving Q&A. That's for Jess Steve. I should get some of my colleagues, my former colleagues, my friends, who are big on that CVSA stuff, and have them come in because I don't have the answers for it. I really don't do. I never did the CVSA stuff. I mean, the gross issues, the gross defects, I understand, but I'm not a CVSA guy.
It's a very specific expertise. And
it is.
There's a lot of training involved in it. There's a lot of knowledge involved in it. Even myself, I don't do a lot of it. We do the basic stuff. But we don't have scales. We don't do anything like that. So, if you're ever interested, I can, one of my close friends, that's what he used to do. He used to work for commercial vehicle enforcement here in Alberta. So.
Oh, no kidding. Richard, off topic, but Richard said they tried getting away with green fog lights in Thunder Bay and got stopped quite quickly. I imagine that would be the case. Green's a regulated color. Red and blue are regulated colors. I'm surprised that funeral processions even get away with purple because it's so close to red that it can be confusing. Aaron wants to know, pretty sure it's 95 decibels. Pax says that they're pretty sure it's 95 decibels. Do you mean for exhaust or stereo? Because Aaron was asking about stereos. Stereo is just as subjective. You're making noise. It's unnecessary and has nothing to do with the safe operation of your vehicle. Whereas if you're producing more than 92 decibels of sound at idle of your motor vehicle, that is a $500 fine in the city of Toronto, and 90.
That's a bylaw, right?
Is a bylaw, and I think it's 96 decibels at anything other than idle. But and they get that with a decibel meter, and I think that's also good. People don't understand how bad noise pollution is and how impacts the community. Babies who are trying to sleep, people who do shift work, businesses that are trying to operate. It's just not it's not okay. And it doesn't sound cool. It's actually it's really it's cool for about 10 seconds, and then it's really lame.
And that comes back to like even here in Alberta, like under our vehicle equipment regulations, you're not even allowed to modify your exhaust at all. Like if as soon as you take it from factory and you change it at any capacity, it's against the law. So even if
So
it's not even that loud, you can't modify it. You can't
well,
change it from
it's funny
factory.
because Aaron says, "Why is everyone so against modding cars? Some people just do it as a hobby. You can do whatever you want as a hobby. When you drive that on the road and you make noise with it and you make smoke with it, or you have it so low that it's unsafe, or depends on what you're doing. There's legal mods, and then there's dumb stuff, and it's the dumb
Yeah.
stuff that gets people in trouble.
And first and foremost, the guy I've said it on here before. I love our car community in our city and in any city. You know, any car community that is doing it properly and safely.
Yeah,
You know, especially like for example with the underglow. If you're in a parking lot and you know you're parked and everybody's gathered around and like cops for coffee or whatever it is, put on your lights, do what you got to do. You know, make it bounce up and down, do your thing, right?
parking
Have
lot,
fun,
parking
parking
lot.
lot, right? But
By
as
the
soon as that's
ju-
in motion and you're off the parking lot, man,
Well, they don't get that a motor vehicle is a regulated piece of machinery that has to
yeah,
meet certain standards to be safe on the road for the betterment of all, for the safety of all, and you got to play nice or you can't play at all.
yeah.
And just a fun video sent a couple of roses. Thanks very much for the gift. Appreciate you. Conservative Canada. I think I can't. I see Canna. It could be cannabis for all I know. Uh, what's your take on radar detectors and laser jammers? And I've talked about this a lot. I know you have too.
Yeah.
What's your take on that stuff and thing? That thing.
Well, again, we allow it here in Alberta, so we pull people over all the time that have radar detectors in their vehicles. Sorry if that was loud.
No,
A
no, it's
lot
good.
of them here, and yeah, it's you're just telling me you're just screaming that you're a habitual speeder. And if I
Oh yeah.
if I catch you for speeding and I can contest for you and my guys, you're probably getting the speeding ticket if you have a laser or a radar detector in your car. But and Sean can even contest to this. If you're good using your instrument, your radar, by the time the officer has you
You're
and
done.
your detector goes off, your officers you're not we're not trained to sit there and just have it on all the time.
Well, and
We,
there's a big difference between laser and radar. Radar is
yeah,
primarily used for moving, and yes, that's usually a consistent beam, just on.
yeah, yeah,
But the smart coppers are turning it off and on based on their observations because they know
yeah.
that people have the devices. When it comes to blockers, jammers, things that interfere, we the technology is not that.
Archaic.
Well, I was going to say it's not hard to detect
Yeah,
either through social engineering or actual error messages coming up on your device. Like if I push the button and I get a reading clear as day on the guy beside you, but I can't get a reading for.
yeah,
I don't think you have done something to
yeah.
determine,
The
to,
instruments are pretty
yeah.
smart.
Yeah, and it gives errors that give you hints,
Yeah,
but here's the deal: if jammers tend to give rather than an error code, they tend to project a speed other than what you're doing. Well, if everyone else is going slower than you and it says they're doing 60, but you're doing 50,
yeah,
and you're pulling away, or you're all doing 60, but you're pulling away, I think that's a clue. And in
yeah,
Ontario, especially, we have this wonderful law or section of the Highway Traffic Act that gives the authority for a police officer, people enforcing it, to search a vehicle until they find it, which means taking it apart and just leaving you with a pile of parts.
yeah.
Um,
But
and
like you said, though, it does come down to your observations. And what a lot of people don't understand is it's a visual estimation first before we're even supposed to turn on our instrument. At least that's how it is here and how we're trained, right? We're not just
yeah,
trained to
it's
just
to
turn it on
confirm
willy
your
nilly.
it's to confirm your
Yeah,
observations, your
yeah,
independent observations based on your skills, training, and whatnot. Uh, Stopping in the middle of traffic to allow pedestrians to cross or allow a left turn is a great way to get into a collision. Um, I mean, this is where people have to be paying attention and not on their phones
yep,
because you could stop because someone could be lawfully on the road and people can. There's no law that says you can't cross the street without a crossing. Like, it's not, you have to be lawfully crossing it. You got to avoid creating collision situations because y'all not going to live through it. But the person who stops to avoid hitting someone's doing the right thing if they're on the road. You can't just drive through the thing that's walking across. That's
yeah,
bad. That's so. But that's why people have to pay attention. It's a thing. Amazing, really. Underglow can be red lights. I believe trucks have underglow. If red you can't have to the front. If the red light's visible to the front, it's illegal. Chris Wright says, can an off-duty plainclothes cop give you a ticket for being on the phone? Absolutely, they can. Police officers are police officers 24/7. If they pull you over and they've got a ticket book to write it, they can do it. If they don't have a ticket book, they can get your information and then have you served at a later date. They have 6 months to lay the charge in Ontario. Apparently, they can lay the charge for a year after the fact.
In Alberta.
In Alberta, yes.
Yeah.
Nicholas Rizzi says, I may be a troll. I met you in person. How many trolls have you met in person? Yeah, I thought so. But you're a good troll, Nicholas. Although I have been ignoring you, not with the intention of ignoring you. Just I've been trying to manage every other place to look, and I have an extra window open because of the way that we had errors earlier. I'm going to blame those errors for everything. I'm in Saskatchewan. I think that's yes. I'm in Saskatchewan in a cop. Okay, I so many acronyms, so many short forms. I'm in Saskatchewan and a cop have pulled over someone else. I was driving 98. He gave me a ticket for $347. So you were speeding past a police officer who was dealing with somebody else, and they just said, "I got to go," and they took off and got you. Because I'm like, that's winning a prize. I don't know how he got your speed or locked you in unless he had the device in his hands while he was still talking to somebody else. But absolutely, that's legit. I mean, that's a 98 over or 98 kilometers in a 50. Like, I want to know what your dollar for dollar is. Jack says, might be a dumb question. Why is car insurance mandatory? Because people get seriously injured as a result of people operating motor vehicles on the road, and if you're not insured, who pays for that? Everyone says you're driving a loaded weapon when you're driving a car. It's kind of true. It's kind of true.
And you want the coverage. My God, you want the coverage.
A friend of mine got sued when I told the story last week. I don't know if it was day or night, but his dad owned a courier company. Courier company was paying for insurance. Turns out the insurance was buying slips. The guy at the insurance company was just pocketing the money, and they had no insurance. So when he hit somebody and hurt them or worse, it was a $250,000 payout that he was responsible for, apparently. At least that's the story. Cold Laker 2.0 says, hello, Shauner. How's it going? How are you? Okay. So, that's the thing. You got to take care of people. And the States, some places have, I think they're all mandatory, but for the longest time, they didn't have mandatory insurance, which is scary.
It is, right? And it's not even just about you. It's about the other people on the road around you.
That's really, that and your liability. And Richard says, never drive without insurance. I couldn't agree more.
It's a $3,000 fine here in Alberta.
For us, it's $5,000 to $25,000 and up to 6 months in jail.
Yeah,
I've yet to see someone do jail for it.
They'll up ours depending on if the person's been charged prior. They'll up it, but it's base 3 minimum. So
let's see here. I don't know what are we talking about here. What are the consequences for DUI? Driving under the influence. There's a pretty good range, but sadly, a lot of places, and I think Alberta's doing this, where they're pleading it down to careless driving, or is it just? How does it work?
Well, we have immediate roadside sanctions now when it comes to impaired driving. So right now, unless there's exigent circumstances or mitigating circumstances that would make the impaired a criminal impaired, officers have the option to go by means of an IRS, immediate roadside sanction, which is a provincial offense rather than a criminal offense. And there's a minimum fine. There's a minimum fine, and you still have to get a blow box in your car here in Alberta, and your car is obviously seized for 30 days and so on. But the officers still have the discretion to do a criminal charge as well. But it's taking an officer from doing a criminal impaired, which could take an entire shift potentially, to maybe an hour on the side of the road, and it's all said and done. So,
I've gone by way of criminal. Sometimes they'll plead down to careless here, but I've always gone by way of criminal charges. There's no other option. I think it's $2,000 to $10,000. I think it's obvious jail time depending on the circumstances. I don't remember all the consequences. They don't come to mind because I don't talk about it very often.
Yeah.
Chris Wright says it should be death by stoning for the consequences for DUI. To which that user says, "Holy moly!" But that's not actually accurate.
Yeah.
Jay Gold says, driving with wrong plate and no insurance, is it mandatory to impound vehicle, and is there leniency? Why do you want to know? Like, don't do that. It would if you were driving with wrong plate, use plate not for that
Subsisting.
vehicle, no insurance. Like no insurance one isn't, but the wrong plate one, I believe is. Look it up. Listen, regardless of what it is, it's a superbly stupid idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like the $5,000 to $25,000 in 6 months in jail is the no insurance one, but plate not.
So while you're looking that up in Alberta, if you get picked up driving with no insurance, your vehicle will be seized until further time that you can show proof of insurance to get it out
I like that.
of the impound yard. We have the discretion to let you tow it onto private property, but it's such a problem here. We just tell the tow company to take it until you prove otherwise. And
I
then
like it.
misuse or improper use of a license plate here is a $324 ticket. And the officer may seize the license plate that you are using and return it to the registry, which I always do.
Oh yeah, I like.
But it's almost guaranteed that your car is going to go to the impound yard until you can come and prove to me you have insurance before you get it back.
Here's what the charge is for the HD. It's use plate not authorized for a vehicle. It's $170, but it's arrest and seizure authority. So yeah.
We can even arrest for using a wrong plate. So under the Traffic Safety Act.
Toronto Reckless says, "Hey Sean, I got a ticket. I got a ticket cop pulled over. I was going 30 over, but he gave me a ticket for 5 over. Should I fight?" No, I wouldn't. I mean, it's up to you. Obviously, it's your right to fight, but if you know you're guilty, why are you wasting the court's time? 5 over is no demerit points, but it's still a speeding charge. But you should have known better. 5 over, why would they give you such a gift? I've never written a 5 over ticket. Hope says, "Hey Sean,
so stupid.
What was the 5 over?"
Yeah, or no, just writing them like the 5 over. Like, don't even write the ticket at 5 over. Then,
yeah,
if you're going to get that much of a break, my God.
Let's see here. Why did cops shut down every car meet? Because they're not lawful car meets. Like going to Tim Hortons and having a coffee with your buddies is not a car meet. Having a car meet where people are doing burnouts and stupid stuff are prohibited. And sadly, there's a lot of connection to just going to hang out in parking lots and loiter in private property, and then it turns into stupid stuff later. So they want to prevent it. York Region has gotten they've gotten very aggressive with battling it because it's a problem. Zolo says, "Going to court tomorrow for stop sign ticket. How can I reduce it in court?" Talk to a prosecutor. Ask them. If you say you're going to plead guilty to a lesser offense, they might give it to you. They just, I don't. The big thing is if you're taking responsibility. If you say, "I know I did dumb stuff. I didn't mean to, but I did, and I want to take responsibility of it. Can you help me out?" It's a little bit of.
It'll go farther than.
How do you fight it? How are you going to fight it?
Yeah.
You're not going to win a fight, but you can certainly tell them, like, "I'm totally guilty, but can I plead to a lesser and included offense?" And they will likely say, "Sure, we appreciate you taking responsibility and saving the court time and money. And as a result, we will reward you with a lesser offense, possibly with no demerit points." Yeah. And Justin Jr. says, very rightfully so, "The reason police shut down car meets is because people act dumb there." Nolan Abar says, "What about driving with an expired license?" Well, an expired license is no license, my friend.
Yeah. $324 tickets here in Alberta, and you can be arrested for driving.
I think it's $380 here.
Oh, wow.
But now I want to look. Drive no license.
51A.
No licenso. It's $325, and it's seizure authority.
$325. You beat me at $1.
$1. It was $260 plus victim fine surcharge. Okay, so Farbud says, "Perfect. My dad obtained his driver record and can be found out that there is a conviction that he does not remember since the offense date was 2 years ago and conviction date of September 2024. Can he appeal the conviction? Also, how can he find out which court he should go and appeal it to because he does not have the actual ticket? We're in Toronto." Well, you can go to the Ministry of Transportation and ask where that was applied. You can go to the courthouse in the city of Toronto and say, "I don't remember how this happened." It's shocking that he wouldn't know that he had a conviction, but how do you on what basis would you appeal it? I got a ticket, but I don't remember that I got a ticket, and now I want to fight it.
So, and this is something, believe it or not, I see here in our city. Um, if you move and you do not change your driver's license address,
Yep.
and you get a registered owner ticket in the mail,
It's your
they
fault.
have served it legally to
Mhm.
the last known address. So if you have moved and you didn't change your address, that's how a situation like that is going to happen. The ticket's going to go unpaid, it's going to go undealt with, and then when you go
Mhm.
to renew anything, you're going to go in there and say, oh, you have this unpaid ticket. So it's so important to update your address anytime you move on your driver's license. It's also
100%.
there in case something bad happens to you and we have to go notify someone. We want to be
Absolutely.
going to the right address. But
But
it
more
happens so
often than
much
not,
here.
and more often than not, you're getting that ticket in person, because any ticket that goes to the registered owner and is served by mail is going to be one that is owner's responsibility, automated enforcement, which doesn't affect your license. It affects
Yeah.
your license plate renewal. You can't renew your license plates unless you are up to date there. So it's pretty shocking. Like, I don't know how you're going to convince, because the way it works is in Ontario is you have to go to a court, you have to apply to reopen a case, you have to have a meeting, whether it be in person or remotely, with a justice of the peace, and explain to them and compel and convince them that you need to have a reason or
Yeah.
an opportunity to reopen it. And it's work and it's money, and you have to pay for your fines in advance before you can have it reopened.
Yeah.
What is this? Aaron says, okay, I got you. Okay, Jack says, wants to know, is it true that if you fight a ticket and the officer doesn't show to court, you automatically win? Depends on the jurisdiction. Do you guys work on viva voce evidence by you, or do you have to have the officer in court?
They would rather have the officer in court.
But can they
Sometimes we get
proceed without it?
no.
Okay. We're obligated to go to court. If we don't
We're
show up,
subpoenaed to go.
subpoenaed, as
Yeah,
opposed to
they
just,
started subpoenaing us. Yeah,
we get
it's
notified.
a process. Yeah.
We get
They
notified.
used to
If we
just
don't show
notify.
up, we can get documented. So
Yeah.
we go, and we get paid to go. So it's not a bad
Yeah.
thing. But if you, some jurisdictions are apparently going viva voce. They're basically taking the face of the ticket and saying, we're proceeding. Let's have your case while you're not guilty.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're proceeding on the face of sometimes. So it's not an automatic, and I wouldn't count on that. Richard says vehicles blowing past, loading, unloading
Yeah.
school buses is a
I
huge
just seen
problem.
that one.
Yeah, and you know
Well,
what?
he just said he had one go by him while he was unloading
90
students in
Wow.
the 90 zone. Our department is in charge here, so anytime our buses, I don't know if some of them in Toronto have them, we have cameras on our buses now, and I get at least 2 or 3 files every week from our school board with video and evidence and statements from drivers, and we charge them $5.67, 4 points.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't mess around with that here. It could be my kid crossing the road, so
Oh, 100%.
fly kite.
Let's see here. YYC cop pulled over this chap. It's a Calgary cop. Pulled him over, going 20 over, running a red light. Let him go after he saw an Ontario plate. I guess the thought was, you're not coming to court, or maybe he didn't. He just give you a break, make life easy for him. So I don't know. I don't know why they would do that, but I mean, good for you.
They follow. Like tickets they'll stick
Reciprocal
around.
agreements,
Trust
yeah.
me. Oh yeah.
And if you don't pay,
I
them,
charge
they'll
people
leave,
from Ontario and BC here all the time.
as you should.
Yep. Don't care what the plate says.
Teresa says they should have fined you anyways. Want to do that shite? Do it back in Alberta. But oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Meant Ontario. Oh, she's sorry. I'm like reading. I'm like, but it wasn't. She meant in Ontario. Yes, it's much more impactful when you get the right province. Ghost of says, where is the book? Are we talking about this book? The book is here. The course is I started recording it today. I plan on having the first episode out this week. And what is that book we're talking about? I'm doing a course where I'm reading the book to you and explaining the book as we read it and discussing.
That's cool.
Yeah. It went pretty viral. I don't know where we're at now, but there's a lot of views of that video, 160,000 and climbing. Aaron's going to school for trucking coach mechanic. Is there any law mechanics have to follow? I'm sure there are. I couldn't.
There's a
tell you
lot
what they
of like provincial guidelines that you have to adhere to as a mechanic. Like we have something called AMVIC out here. And you need to be properly certified and registered, and you need to keep all your certifications up to date and everything else. So it's not as much for laws, but you can under AMVIC in Alberta. If you're doing an inspection on a vehicle, and for example, if you sign your name on it and you haven't done the inspection properly, or if you've falsified that document, you can be up shit's creek through AMVIC and have your license pulled and be charged. So,
Waddell Engineering, I'm scanning through all these things. A lot of stuff came in. Waddell Engineering said, I once had it that my ownership papers didn't match my plate number. How would you handle that? It was an error with the MTO printer. Took a bit to get it sorted out. I could see that being uncomfortable. Check your documents before you leave the building, if you were doing it in person.
And another thing too, and I'll never forget this. My buddy and I got pulled over when I was really young about it. He got his car repainted, and he forgot to change it on the registration. Everything else was accurate, but the color was gone. And I see this a lot here. People dip their cars, plastic dip them, and they don't change.
That was cool for 10 seconds,
right? And they don't change the color, so you got to change it.
Yeah, plastic dip, wrap, all that some stuff.
Anything, yeah.
If it's more than 50% of your vehicle, it needs to be either at 50%. You're talking about multicolor change, and if it's changing the whole thing, you must report that. But here's the deal: think about how many times you're going to get pulled over when they run your plate that says red Civic and it's blue. Like, it's just going to get you gunpoint around,
especially a Civic.
Yeah, Civic's just a heat score.
Call them heat seekers, eh?
That's it. Norman says concrete was at 4:15 a.m., 7:47 p.m. I don't know what we're talking about. He's using acronyms. He's into the acronyms. What book are we talking about? Someone said, anyway, he wants me to read the Black's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, driving. I'm all ears, boss. I'm assuming we're talking about some fantasy thing. What are we talking about? I don't get into the whole Freeman stuff. I just don't, because it's not
nonsense.
Real. It's a nonsense.
Absolute nonsense.
I wonder if Black's Law is just making tons of money on it though.
Probably.
Hold up my book. Do you want to know which book we're talking about? This is the driver's handbook. This isn't the law book. It's the driver's handbook, so we can teach people the basic rules so they can get their license. Civics, the lawnmower of tuners.
Yeah, Black & Decker motors.
You know what? They're great. The racing instructors use them to teach racing. So there's a place.
They're good cars. It's just a stereotypical car for a lot of different people and activity. So
I was annoyed by one yesterday. I went to get gas at Costco in Etobicoke when I was waiting to go to the police college for something, and it was a man in his mid to late 20s. He may have been Asian. He came out and like, oh, come on. I just want to get gas without being annoyed.
Wait, did you say a man in his 20s? Mid to late 20s?
Yeah, it's mid to late 20s. He may have been closer to 30. He was in inappropriate. He may even had a sticker about a kid in the car. And I'm like, you would take a child in that car? It was pretty bad. J Gold 94 says, no insurance, wrong plate. Officer allowed me to tow the vehicle, took the plate. Will they impound after court? I don't know what they'll do. It depends on what the prosecutor wants to do. I don't think it's an automatic, but it's a bad deal. You're lucky. So it's a book that you would follow. What is this? Mike says, so it's a book that you would follow no rules at all. Is at what? Mike, I'm not picking up what you're putting down. What can happen if I haven't registered a car in Alberta, moving from Ontario, failing inspection? If you are driving a motor vehicle that hasn't been registered in the province, and you are not, like, you're just driving with Ontario, claiming to be a visitor, what happens, good sir, to someone who's faking it till they make it because they can't pass inspection to get local plates?
So the thing is it's kind of difficult for us to determine how long someone's been in the province for, unless they're telling us they're working here or whatever the case may be. So I actually stopped a lady about 2 weeks ago. She failed to yield to a pedestrian at a crosswalk. She was in her car from Ontario. And I told her, I said, you're working here, you're living here, you must switch your registration, your license plate, and your insurance, because your insurance you have in Toronto or in Ontario will not cover you here if you're living here. And And then, yeah, you have to have, in Alberta, you have to have an out-of-province inspection done on your vehicle. So if I now were to pull her over within 30 days from that stop,
Yeah.
I could seize her vehicle.
Really?
Under our vehicle equipment regs, make sure it gets off the road, because if it's not been inspected. I can also charge her for not driving with properly plates, all kinds of other stuff.
Well, $110 fine for not registering plates. But I had a guy who was in a collision with a BMW X5, and he surrendered a registration. It was plated in Florida. Surrendered a registration for Florida, along with a letter saying, "This belongs to me in Florida, but my dad is authorized to use it in Canada." And it was dated 4 years prior to the collision, and he provided me a driver's license for Ontario. That got seized on behalf of the RCMP. They did an investigation, and they levied like a $35,000 fine on top of the taxes that were owed. And his option was pay the taxes and put the car into service here, or tow it to the border and just pay the fine of $35,000 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was shocking. But it happens all the time. I got someone who was an overstay. They had New York plates, and they'd been living in Canada for 2 years. And they got deported that night. I called CVSA, and they deported that lady, and they impounded the vehicle, and it was a whole big thing.
Yeah, we have that a lot here too with our meat plant. Oh yeah, and we get a lot of people from like El Salvador, Mexico, and that kind of stuff. And we get a lot of people on their PR cards and everything else, and trying to drive with their international driver's license. It's actually kind of a nightmare. So
yeah, I bet. Basically, a lot of unlicensed people.
Yeah,
just
we work really closely with CBSA and our forensic identification unit with Alberta Transportation.
Waddell Engineering says, I saw a guy shaking his car at Costco so he can get more gas in. I wish I had that on dash cam. I wish you did too. Speaking of dash cam, I have a video that's going to make too much noise. Let's play this. I'm curious what your take is, and I'm going to make our oversized bubbles look different.
But generally for the entire province of Ontario. And he's talking about the fact that things are going to freeze up this afternoon, and you could end up with black ice and all kinds of slippery conditions. He's talking about the fact that things are going to freeze up this afternoon.
We'll let that loop without the audio, but check that out one more time.
Something tells me it's a BMW.
I don't know what it was.
Or a Mazda.
That's freaking fast.
Yeah, and reckless in all cases.
Oh, it's criminal dangerous. I would charge that person with criminal dangerous driving. Let them be handcuffed and transported. That is ridiculous.
One slight movement and chaos ensues.
And those I keep seeing these videos that dum-dums keep posting themselves doing this crap, but they don't understand, or maybe they don't care, how much debris is in that shoulder. It's not meant to be
100%.
But yeah, I have some extreme thoughts.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I got one more. I think this is entertaining. Maybe I'm better off doing it this way. Hang on. Replace the video. Where is it? Here it is.
Finally warm enough for a little bit of will they stop at the four-way stop sign.
405?
They're in a hurry. Next up at the four-way stop. Will they stop? Wow. No, not even close. It was a slowdown.
So how do you do stop sign enforcement? Like,
stop sign.
Oh, big time.
I would hammer. I would.
And every one of
it's not over. He's got more footage. He's got more. There's still time on the clock.
No.
It's 20 more seconds. There's got to be another. Oh! Let's see what this one does.
Get her stop. Yeah. Oh, that's a Jersey roll. That's a nice.
That's
stop.
Almost a stop, but
that's almost a stop.
That's like you get points for like trying.
Oh
my God.
Just.
But I could watch this all day, and I would like I'd pull up. I had such a good like a high threshold that I would let most people if they saw me, if they stopped, even if they saw me and stopped in the middle of the intersection, it was proof that they paid attention. But I actually saw someone pass someone who was stopping for the stop sign. Like they hit the gas and passed them.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I sit on a lot of stop signs here, and I always will put my PC in a position where my camera can record everything, and Yeah.
I love it.
It's
Great,
so
great evidence.
stupid. But we hit so many collisions in intersections. It's mind blowing. And then people wonder why. You got
Gee,
idiots
I don't
like
know.
this just, job
Do
security.
we? Question of: do we still need to update our sticker in Ontario? As long as you, if
I'll be right
you,
back.
yeah, as long as you don't have any outstanding fines, it'll automatically do it. In most cases, that's a California stop. It's a many different terminology stops, but it's not a legal stop. It's not a stop at all. Can first responders press charges against assailant on the job, or is it civilian?
I have
First
pants on, don't worry.
Yes, I'm glad. Can first responders press charges against an assailant on the job? So they get attacked on the job. Can they take civil action against? I don't know. I don't know how that works. You get injured. I couldn't say. I've never had that. I mean, I've sued somebody as a result of I sued them, but press charges, I'd arrest them. So yeah, you would. If you were assaulted, you do press charges. You don't get hit, and I had to work that through. I was thinking legally for suing, but yeah, if someone hits me, I'm going to charge them for assault peace officer. That's how that works.
Yep.
You get arrested for hitting a cop, or someone who works for the service, parking enforcement, anyone. What do you need to drive a moped in Ontario? A motorcycle license.
And in Alberta, depending on the CCs, I think it's like less than 150 CCs. You can ride a
Not
moped
50
with a learner's
cc.
permit.
Usually, in some places, it's 50 cc.
50. It must be 50 then. But yeah, you can ride it with a learner's permit.
Okay.
So like your G1.
Interesting. Oh, learner's car permit. So it used to be before 2007, if you had a moped and a G license, you could ride it, and then they changed it. They changed it.
Which to me is bizarre because you get a 14-year-old.
That just blows me away.
You get a class 7 here as a 14-year-old. You can go buy a moped. You have no idea how to drive, let alone ride, and you are entrusted on this motor vehicle on highways. Now, obviously, the moped can't exceed more than 80 kilometers an hour. It can't. There's a whole bunch of other, but you can still drive in a city.
Yeah.
As a 14-year-old.
Insane.
Right? Like, yeah, and riding a moped versus a motorcycle versus driving a car are two very different things. I mean, I've never ridden a motorcycle or a moped, but I would imagine as a learner trying to learn the rules of the road in general and then trying to learn it on a moped by yourself.
What could go wrong?
Like, it's just nightmare. Yeah, the high school is full of kids with them. It's
getting a motorcycle at 16. Packs. I mean, I had my license already. I had a G license at 16, but I got my motorcycle license with no course. Just I rode a bicycle, and there you go. I'm gonna ride a motorcycle now. I did take a professional course eventually, but just go for it. Go up. Yeah. What do we got here? We got Crystal, who says, I saw that video the other day. It blew my mind. Couldn't believe he didn't crash into the wall. Which video were we talking about? Was that the... Which video was that? We looked at 3 videos. Oh, the one where he was speeding down the shoulder. Yeah, it's shocking. Justin is talking to Norman, asking him if he's okay based on the questions he's asking. IMO, I think it's IMO, sent 21 ice cream cones. I don't know what that translates to, but thank you very much. I didn't see the animation, but I see the note. Thank you very much for your support. Jake says stop sign enforcement is great on day shifts. Stop sign enforcement is great all day, and definitely on day shift because you can multitask. Knight Armor followed the host. Thank you so much. And IMO shared the live. IMO says thank you so much. Much appreciated. I appreciate the appreciation. What's the best part of being an officer? And someone earlier said, what was the best part of being a cop? The people. I love my coworkers, my blue family, the other people that I worked with were just so awesome, and I miss them. Actually, I went to see them. I went to a Scout Rovers Investation, I think is what it's called. We were programmed with the Scouts that work with the police in Humber College, and it's a level of scouting, and they do all this stuff, and it's great volunteering. So I went to go see it. I'd been invited to it before. I never made it down. My first time. Chief was there. He spoke. He did a bunch of stuff. He put the what is it called? The not a sash, but a thing that I don't know the name of. And it was a great time. It was a great time. Got to see a whole bunch of people that I respect. Let's see here. So, what's the best part of being an officer for you?
When I'm not ruining people's days, I'm getting yelled at.
You love
Honestly,
that the most?
No. I just like giving back to my community any way I can. I know that sounds cheesy and stuff.
It's perfectly good.
I really do. I am passionate about the community I work in and I live in. I raise my kids in and my wife works in. And if slowing people down and educating people on traffic safety and doing traffic safety makes our community better, whether it be through enforcement or education, that's what I'm passionate about. So, and I like when I stop someone and then a couple months later, they come up to me and say, you know what, because of that, they haven't done it since, or they've learned, or whatever the case may be. So just giving back to the community as a whole is important for me.
I've thought about
going
back
and my coworkers, of course.
Oh yeah, I thought about going back as an auxiliary. I started I started 25 years ago as an auxiliary, and then transitioned to police and courts, or courts then police. And I thought about maybe I'd go back as an auxiliary officer. I don't know, volunteering again. I'm kind of volunteering now. Maybe I'm an auxiliary officer right now. Noaf says, kind of forcing me to drive it without Alberta registration because new tires are expensive. Dude, if you are driving a car that doesn't pass safety because your tires don't meet the grade, you, sir, need to get your head checked because your tires are the only thing holding you to the road. And if they're unsafe tires, you are doing yourself and everybody else a disservice. You're going to have a failure. You're going to have a catastrophic failure, possibly at speed, and then you're going to hurt yourself or somebody else. And there's no walking it back. There's no undo button. It's just dumb. And then you're not going to get covered by insurance because they're going to not only determine that you are not living in the province of Ontario anymore, if that's where you originated, but you're also going to be denied because your vehicle was not maintained in a safe condition. You are responsible to maintain it. You can get pulled over and checked for tires and get done for that anyway. So just saying, really, really bad. Get your head checked, man.
I wish I had the picture on my phone. I would have showed it. I went to a collision about 2 months ago where a vehicle was coming off of the highway for, major series highway, 120 kilometers an hour, 110. She got into the turning lane to get off, and she hit some gravel, locked her tires up. Her tires were about as smooth as the ice, and she slid underneath a tanker truck pulling out of one of our meatpacking plants, and they were hauling tallow, which tallow is essentially rendered down cow juice, and it's in the tanker at about probably 700 degrees, if not hotter than that. And her head was about this close to the tanker underneath the car. The whole car was right underneath it. And the cause was that her tires were bald as shit. And I had to point it out, and she was charged for it because if she had tires, she would have stopped.
Funny how that works.
But she literally almost died. Like it was stupid.
You have to understand, and I'm not speaking to Logan here, but for everyone watching, your tire, you think you have a big tire making great big contact with the road, but it's an oval. It's a tiny oval, depending on the diameter, the width of the tire. It's a very small contact patch. If you're properly what do you call it? Filled. What's it called?
Inflated.
Inflated. That's the word I was looking for. If you're properly inflated. What time is it? It's time to go. It's 11 o'clock at night. If it's properly inflated, you'll have a proper patch. But if you have under or overinflated, you have less or improper tire. If you've got no tread, you're just waiting to unalive yourself. And no one should feel bad if you do it because you did a dumb thing.
Yeah.
Okay. IMO says it's a spring treat. Is that the ice cream? It's a spring treat. I'm not eating sugar. I'm not eating carbs. I did buy a bunch of cheese. You know, I bought, if I want to chat, I got some sliced or chunked Parmesan. Like, like what you get when you go to the keg. So this
Yeah.
was nice shaved Parmesan. That's what I got. And then I tried the viral hack today. I did the onion and I laid it out, put a little oil, and I spread out the Parmesan, and it was so good, like
Yeah.
crispy onion. I ate two onions, and it was like
Oh, wow.
there's no carbs, there's no sugar, there's no nothing. It was awesome. I may have overcooked them.
I was gonna say overindulged.
Oh, that too. I'm stuffed, whatever. And I ate like at 2:00 in the afternoon. That was dinner. French Cowboy Express says speed limiters on trucks are dangerous. If speed limiters keep the vehicle at the maximum speed or no more than 5 kilometers over the maximum speed, I have no problem with them. Nobody should be going faster. Crystal says or asks, are single person golf carts legal? I witnessed one at night in the bike lane with no lights. Scary. I've never heard of a single person golf cart, because a golf cart is a golf cart, and a mobility scooter that has air conditioning that is in the bike lane is just plain illegal. Are you getting those things in Alberta?
So we haven't had them yet, but there is a place in BC that are making these. They look like little go-karts, but they're calling them mobility aids, and they're classified as a mobility aid, but they look exactly like a go-kart.
Classified by whom is my question.
Exactly.
You know, there's a
They
guy.
they meet so essentially they meet the criteria in BC for what a mobility aid has to do. So
Is it
meets the
legit,
power
or is that they're
restriction,
just
it
saying
meets
it?
the size restriction. It meets all the requirements, and they've designed it in a way to meet the requirement whilst looking like a go-kart. And you can actually watch videos on YouTube of the RCMP pulling them over.
That's
And they give them all
that's the guy
paperwork,
from
and it's
BC
like-
who says it's not a go-kart.
Yeah,
And he reached out to me. Those things are not legal.
yeah, but they look like a go-kart when you look at them.
100%.
And they're riding around in the street. And it was like, oh my god, but that's what's happening, right? Like, people are pushing the boundaries, and like I said before, our province is a little behind on our electric mobility aids here in the province, whether it's bikes or whatever. So like these are mobility aids. These are 100% what, and like we've got a couple of these covered ones here right on the end. You can see some of the older people.
That is not a mobility. That's not a mobility aid.
So
that's a car.
So we have one guy here in town. It doesn't look like this, but it's covered in like that. Like it's got like a mold that goes over, like let's say
But you could drive
something like this, but it's got
with a tent
topper on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can accept that. I could probably even see that going shopping at Loblaws.
Yeah.
If you can't drive into Loblaws with it, I'm going to say that it's not a mobility scooter. if this is a freaking car.
Yeah.
And they have air conditioning, 10,000. Come on, load it up. Why is it not loading? I'm pressing the button. There are people being told that these things are legal. And they're just not. And some of them are doing crazy speeds.
But this is where it's like, well, I heard. It's like, well, where did you hear it from? Did you hear it from a curbside lawyer? Like, who did you hear this from? Did you literally go down to your local police agency of jurisdiction, like, hey, this is what I want to do. Is it legal or illegal? Oh, I just heard from a friend. Well, that's not a legitimate source of where you're getting your information from.
And I get that it's got the handlebars. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't buy it.
Cool. Don't get me wrong. That's pretty slick. But that's not. Yeah.
It doesn't be. No, I saw one being towed by a car because it ran out of batteries. They're saying originally they were calling them e-bikes. I think because some of them had pedals. Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
E-scooter Toronto. Let's have a look. There's guys who are like 750 watt, just based on the definition. That's a motorcycle. You can't have more than 500 watts.
Yeah.
88 kilometers range. 750 pounds. No, okay. It says here 32 kilometers an hour. Why is it 32 kilometers an hour? Why is that? Okay, because the maximum speed permitted is 32k, but it is also, like, it's just not legal.
Yeah,
and they can be modified with a flip of a switch or a pull of a wire to do 80 kilometers an hour. Suron. These are my favorites to find on the road. So Suron Canada, check these things out.
Wicked, eh?
Dude, these things are insane.
Yeah.
And the Light B is said to be a bicycle, I believe. The BS.
Yeah,
BS
you can see the
is what it
pedals
is.
on it. You can see the pedals on it.
But BS, this thing does like
Yeah.
80 miles an hour or some stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I see them like on like on sidewalks. People are riding them like bicycles. I've seen guys do catwalks with these things. Just amazing. They're really impressive.
There's too much of a market.
8,000 watts.
Yeah.
8,000. 0 to 31 miles per hour in 2.7 seconds.
Yeah, 50.
It's a bicycle, officer. Let me go. I don't need insurance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on. It's too funny.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on here. We've been going long, and not 3 hours, mind you. We're not doing 3 hours today. We're not doing. It's already 2 hours and 20 minutes. We're not doing 3 hours. Jake B says, "Don't you guys have minorities to harass?" Jake, you're a jackass.
I'm a minority. I mean, I got red hair. I'm going extinct. I'm harassing myself.
But just a stupid thing to say. Well, first of all, I am retired. I am no longer a police officer. So you're just talking you're just talking out your ass. But I love I should say that people love when we tell off the dum-dums. So I appreciate that he showed up so I could say that, because and then Jacob goes on to say, oh wait. Is Sean, is our tax dollars paying you? No, Jacob. No one's paying me.
And they're not paying me. I'm off right now. This is great.
Yeah, this is just us doing nice things for the community because we care. What a joke. I love it. How long does it take to be a sergeant? Tim wants to know. So you're in a unique situation.
Yeah. In my position, you definitely have to have time in the service in our area. You have to have a certain level of knowledge and understanding of not only provincial legislation, but rules and policies and procedures of the department you work for. So it's really no different. I didn't have to take a test, mind you, like in some areas, but I had to show a certain level of understanding and knowledge of the job as a whole, both from the provincial side of things and as well from the city side of things. So
and
I was
you're a
able
manager
to do that.
of people. It's also about whether or not you'd be good at that.
Yeah.
Why is this not working? I want to. Come on. Apparently, I'm just going to just read this because the answer is, or the statement I wanted to put on screen that is not cooperating is, I just passed my G1 test this morning in Peterborough. That's Malachi.
Congratulations.
Maybe if I pronounced your name properly. Totally Canadian asked me to ask you about e-bike policy in Alberta. I think we just covered that. Let's see here. What else we got? Crystal says, yeah, the black and white ones. So the car e-bike thing.
Yeah. They're pushing boundaries. And the thing is like I said, in Alberta, we're behind on defining properly what is and what isn't considered.
Just look at Ontario. We've covered pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I think they've done a pretty good job. Teragram says, hello, would love to hear your thoughts on the current crime and theft sprees in Ontario and Canada. What does the government need to do exactly? Why did we not have these issues 5 to 10 years ago? So many things to go in. I don't think unpacking that is appropriate.
Well, a certain person came into power about 10 years ago. So.
I think that's the primary issue. Is he working at Canadian Tire now? Is that what's he doing now?
Yeah, something like that. We're releasing people too early. We're not holding people long enough.
Not holding people at all.
So
you arrest someone and you put them on a promise to appear as opposed to putting them to bail court. At least not to spend the night in jail, even if somebody else lets them get out of jail. But whatever.
That's why we do traffic, because we get more people in on traffic warrants and arrests and jail time for traffic stuff than they do for criminal stuff.
And you're saving lives.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. Good evening, Dre Studios. Good to see you, my friend. The deal is that we don't have enough cops. That's one. The government and the community don't support the cops. Like, go look in the States where they have hanging judges. And I use the word hanging judges or the statement, the title, because the community elects the judge to do their bidding. They want to be safe, so they say put them away, throw away the key, lock them up. In Canada, we don't elect our judge. We appoint them, and it's all political appointments, and then they sit there for their entire life, and they don't want to be, they don't want to look bad to their peers. And I mean this with love. Nobody wants to look bad to their peers. So
And nobody wants
take a
bad case law.
Well, yeah, but what they tend to do is be very light on crime so that no one says they did the wrong thing. They sort of swim down the middle, and then we have really soft on crime sentences. Like, how many times, like I can tell you, not my cases, but cases that I've sat in on, where somebody with a gun commits an offense. Actually, let's go simpler. Assault peace officer. What's the first thing that an assault peace officer or a lawyer defending somebody with assault peace officer does? They say, can we drop the assault peace officer because it will harm my client? Because if a police officer looks them up and it says, assault peace officer, well, that person is going to assume that this person needs to be treated a certain way when, it's unfair. Yeah, maybe they punched a police officer, but really, let's just go by way of simple assault. And everyone just starts making it easy and we should throw people in jail for a long, long time. But we don't have jails. We can't even put them. There's no room in jails. We have so many problems. I don't even know where to start. I could.
It's a podcast on its own. It's a show all on its own.
It's not a good one. It's not something that anyone's going to want to hear. That's going to be happy.
It's just rant.
Yeah, it's just being angry for 2 hours. Somebody said, should I go to Treaty 3 Police to get hired because GTA is too full? No, they can't even fill classes. Toronto Police, I think, had 70 spots and they sent 60. There was 10 spots. If you can pass a background check, you should be applying to Toronto Police. If you're a good candidate, there's room for you in classes because all police services are having problems making capacity.
Yeah.
And Toronto's the highest number of people going through, as far as I know. And someone said, go to the RCMP if you want to move outside of where you live. If you want to live in GTA and work in Toronto, RCMP is taking it. I think they make you pay to go to the college. Ontario is free right now. That's a $15,000 signing bonus, really.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Norman's still talking about reading Black's Law and
shenanigans.
Unicorns and King Arthur. And our Knights of the Round Table, maybe we'll read it. It's more interesting. Justin Jr. says, then police databases will flag that person for life with caution with any future dealings. And they should, because they assaulted a police officer.
Yeah.
Totally Canadian says, we are overworked. Absolutely. Police in Canada are going call to call to call to call. It is terrible. They come to their shift, 15 calls pending. They leave with 20 calls pending. It is nonstop. And what are you going to do?
My buddy just transferred from Richmond RCMP to Red Deer RCMP, and Red Deer is statistically one of the most dangerous cities in Canada, at least in the top 5.
Good 8.
And on any given day, there's 8 people for the entire city of Red Deer. 8 officers. He's like, wow. It's good to be busy, but at the same time, your queue is stacked, and you're just chasing your tail all bloody day.
Oh, why is there an election disclaimer? Apparently there's an election disclaimer because I said a couple of things that may have triggered an election.
Oh, actually? Oh, wow.
Yeah. On TikTok, specifically on TikTok.
Okay.
So I talked about this when I was at TikTok. Right now, because they're worried about disinformation and things like that, if you start talking about politics, the AI that monitors everything said on TikTok will post things to say, be careful, and here's where you can get actual information about the dum-dums that are running for election. Not all of them are dum-dums. One of them is really great. I'm voting for him. The other ones, I'm not voting for him. And I'll let you guess which ones. Was it jail, not bail? I think is the latest slogan. Jail, not bail.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So Southern Florida Jeff says, I want to be a motorcycle cop. And I think he bought a Harley recently, so you should. One of my friends who moved to Florida, so I can.
Is that Jeff Fresh?
No, not Jeff Fresh. Jeff Fresh is different. Sorry. Jeff Fresh has been playing video games and live streaming recently. I keep seeing it.
Gotcha.
Boom, boom, boom. Is there an age cutoff to become a member of the Toronto Police? When I got on, 52 was the age, the oldest guy in my class, but there's no cutoff. You're a good, and I can go back. I'm 50 now. I can go back and be the oldest guy in the class. I don't think I have to go to take the course again. I don't think I have to be certified again. I think I just go back and say, I'm here. Totally Canadian says we are short-staffed here in Calgary. Oh, right on.
Calgary.
A friend of mine works for Calgary. He's an analyst, And I was chatting with him at one point about coming to Calgary. I thought about coming over to
And I'm not just saying this because someone from Calgary's on here, but I would argue that the Calgary Police Service is probably one of the more professional police services in Canada, personally. And I have no qualms. Like I don't really know many Calgary officers. I know more Edmonton officers, but Calgary's got a really good thing going there.
I've heard nothing but good things, but I don't know if I
Yeah.
want to live in Calgary.
And we share the same cowboy hat. So
Do they have Stetsons too?
Yeah. So the same hats that they get, we get from Smithbrook and Smithbuilt. They're beautiful cowboy hats. Beautiful cowboy hats.
I need a cowboy hat.
Get them from Calgary
I definitely
stores.
need a cowboy hat.
Awesome.
But can I have a beard as a cowboy? Does that work? Can beards and cowboy hats go together? Oh, you
maybe
were
not as
it.
long, but you have a nice. Yeah, you'd be good.
I don't mean like on duty. I just mean in general. Like cowboys don't generally have like big old beards.
Have you ever seen Yellowstone?
Dude, I need to watch the next episode. I may have to go upstairs and watch an episode right now. Like, wait, what day is it today? This is Tuesday. I keep getting confused. I'm not used to
Yellowstone is over, but
no, Yellowstone 1920, whatever it is. I want to know what happens to Buddy and his pregnant wife who just came to. What are you watching that?
Yet.
Oh, come on!
I watched the first season. I just haven't started. That's the kind of one I'd rather wait for it to all go up and I'll binge it.
Yes.
Because from what I'm hearing right now, there's just a lot of walking. It sounds like the Two Towers from Lord of the Rings right now going on. A lot of the episode is just walking.
It's not. It's of course, there's multiple plots, and we're not talking about traffic anymore, right? Multiple plots going on. It is just the best show. I think he needs a spinoff. The warrior prince coming back to save the farm or the ranch. I love the whole Dutton story. Like I
Taylor Sheridan is killing it in general.
Yes.
Like everything he touches, gold.
Oh. Yes, 100%. Love the stuff he's producing. Have you been watching? What's it called? Reacher.
Yeah.
Are you up to date?
Waiting for the last episode. I'm waiting for the last one.
I can't wait for it to be over. I think he's the best Reacher, but I'm so conflicted because he hates police or he's anti-police. He's bipolar.
Who is he?
He's had run-ins, and I was inviting him to come to the studio in Toronto, and then I found out he was anti-police, and I'm like, come on.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it ruined it for me. It really did.
Oh shit.
I'm really having a problem with the fact that I can't play music.
Just try it again. See what happens.
I don't want to go through that again, but I'm going to do something else. Hang on a second. I don't want to watch that again. Hands down.
He's the best Reacher. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Well, that's not working. Maybe I will. I'm just going to play. I want you to hear this song that I created using AI, and I'm going to mess it up. Yeah, hang on a second. This is the. Which one is it? Duet. Okay.
This is the part of the show where if you're looking to go to the bathroom, this is the time to do it.
See, I can't hear
Grab
you
a snack. Grab a snack.
Because it's the same channel.
If you got something playing, we ain't hearing it.
You can't hear it?
Oh no!
You can't hear that?
No, I've just been.
Nobody can hear it.
No, sitting here, watching your head bob up and down. Like, wow, you must be listening to something good.
Okay, hang on. We're gonna try it again because maybe it's gonna work now. Can you hear it now?
No.
Still no.
Negative. 10-10.
I'm so thoroughly annoyed. Well, that's input. That's why. Okay, input there. And then this is going to screw up, right? Connected Roadcaster. No, that's not what I want. I want Roadcaster Pro. Well, maybe this is where I screwed up. Maybe this is where we're fixing it. Okay, I may have fixed it now.
I can hear it.
Okay.
And you sound good.
I think we fixed it. And at 2 hours and 34 minutes in.
Little twang. Like it.
Street lights flicker on the downtown grid. Concrete jungle, yeah, I know what I did. From the 401 to the late night ride. I've seen the chaos, I've walked that line. A voice in the dark where the sirens wail. Answering questions, lifting the veil. Not just a badge, I'm a city's sound. Keeping things moving when the sun goes down.
It's good.
Out in Brooks where the sky runs wide. Logan Grant rides with a calm, slow stride. Cowboy hat tip, boots on the ground. Where rules meet ranchers and the truth gets found. Dust on the dash and the prairie breeze. But questions still rise like smoke through trees. Doesn't matter if it's Dodge or Ford. The law's the law from the lane to the board. After dark we roll to
I like it. My
think
dash
it's
is
pretty
literally
good.
covered in dust. So
East meets west with a mission clear. Talking truth that every driver should hear. It's more than cars, it's stories told. Lessons learned from the brave and bold.
Mia wants to know if they can ask a question.
We keep it safe
Fairway.
where the rubber rolls.
And I tried a different version.
that's good though. That's pretty good.
I like it. I was digging
I
it.
do like that. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah. Those sultry, huh?
Well,
Yeah.
city
Ooh.
don't sleep, it just hums real low with a million
Different take on the same song.
Yeah.
where to go. I walk these streets
Oh,
where the
John Mayer kind of vibe.
and keeping peace, reading signs one line at a time. I ain't here to preach, just here to show how to drive smart when the moon rides low.
Different, this is actually different lyrics.
Yeah. But even still.
Out west where the cattle roam, I keep my eye on every dusty road home. Got a hat on my head, boots on the floor, but the rules of
Mac wants to know where Kendra is lately. He misses the videos.
tractors to semis.
Wow, that's a great question. Kendra has actually been promoted
She's with the RCMP now.
a civilian position within the RCMP. So everything she did with us, and I'm going to blow smoke up your ass, Sean. Without you, and getting us in connection with TikTok and the whole process, it really put us on the map and put Kendra on the map. So we do have someone in her place, Kelly. She's amazing. We've just shifted our focus a little bit to more community-based information versus trying to push everything we do onto TikTok. But stay tuned. We do have some big plans coming up. We're going to have EMS back on as well. So not only do we
Nice.
cover law enforcement, but we get a lot of questions for EMS. So yeah, just stay tuned and you'll see some stuff coming out on our TikTok.
I was asked how what program I use to make music. It's AI music through Suno.com.
You have to send me that last one. I actually really enjoyed that one.
I'm
Not
going to
'cause my
send you
name
all
was-
of them.
Not because my name is in it. My head's not getting big. But
Well, I made one that's just for you.
it was good.
This
That was
is
good.
just you.
Oh no. My face is already red. It's going to get worse.
And
My wife is
Mia
watching
wants to know if
me.
you can charge someone if they harass me by making videos about you. Maybe.
He's got the hat tilted just right.
Same lyrics, I think, is the other one. Maybe not.
A little different.
The beard that whispers tales
Definitely different.
of roads he's led.
God.
Where the traffic flows and groans.
Well, it definitely groans, that's for sure.
Logan Grant keeps order in his zone. Oh, Logan Grant
Oh my God.
through the streets.
That's embarrassing.
Chaos, like a cowboy elite.
All I need is a lasso. That's all I need.
I'm gonna send you all of them. Listen, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes in, and I know that there's more to do. But this went longer than expected, and at least we figured out what the heck is going on with the audio.
Yeah.
And hopefully next time it works without 2.5 hours to figure it out. Suno, did I put Suno? SUNO. It's on screen right now. SUNO is on the bottom. It's covering Logan's name. AI Music. I put it in the title. SUNO.com. You can do it with a free account, but I actually pay for it, so I can use the licensed. It's now licensed stuff under my name. What was I going to tell you? This Mia says there's a girl saying I owe her money when I don't. It could be libel. But it's not a police matter unless it's criminal harassment is another level. Talk to a lawyer. Talk to the police. If you believe this person is criminally harassing you, then take action. What else was there? Is there anything else here? The first one is IMO's favorite was the first one. I think it was the best one too. That was this one.
It was pretty dang good.
This one. Yeah, I'm gonna say But I like this one too. This is the one that we were just playing the entire time.
Yeah. It's pretty sultry. I like it.
I like it a lot. Blues, gritty blues.
Yeah, is that what it's called? Greedy blues?
No, gritty blues is the style. Okay, do we want to just because why not? It'll be the last thing we do today. Tell me, let's create a song just because. What is the song about? Let's anyone from the audience, anyone watching, what is the song that we are going to make right now? Let's make it with your keywords and themes. So let's pick a theme. Is it going to be traffic? Is it going to be policing? Is it going to be Alberta? Is it Toronto? Is it elbows up? It could be an elbows up song. I'm not an elbows up person. I don't agree with what's going on with this anti-police stuff. A friend of mine has
elbows up.
Well, my buddy's got a place in Florida, and he has. Have a good night, Richard. He has a place in Florida. And he was telling me how people were like covering the license plate and giving him a hard time because he had Ontario plates on.
Oh wow!
That's from booing their
national anthem.
It was just a stupid thing that was done. This is not the president.
It doesn't reflect
the president making business decisions, or doesn't mean that Americans are bad. Yeah. They voted him in because they voted him in. And he's doing what he's doing autonomously. He's not asking everybody in the United States to start doing stuff and things. This has gotten out of hand. This trade business and tariffs,
the trade wars. Yeah,
it shouldn't be having people getting crazy about it. So, but anyway, fun thing about music, and then I started talking about other things. And wait, are we getting things about federal election warnings now? What should we make the song about? Chase says Alberta. Okay, so we'll make it a song about Alberta. Okay, and what style is it? Country? Are we talking R&B? Are we talking rap? Are we talking dance?
Oh God!
What are we talking about? Just put it out there. Put it in the chat. Whoever's in here, we need it. We need it sound.
If someone puts like R&B or like heavy dance, oh my God, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, you tell me. Okay, Logan. No one's piping up here, so let's. There's a slight delay. So we're going to call, what do you want? What style? You want a country song? Chase isn't the only one who's throwing up stuff here. So we need a country song about Alberta. Is it Alberta living? What are we talking about? What's the topic? Alberta. Come on.
Beef.
Beef.
Gotta be Alberta
it's all about steak and all the wonderful ways to enjoy it. How about we make it the anti-vegetarian song?
Yeah. Can't guarantee you won't piss anybody off, but there's
I piss people off every day. It's my job.
Every day.
Anti-vegetarian theme. Poking fun at vegans because steak is awesome. I'm going to piss so many people off. Okay. Is where it's at. What else we got here? Beef. Logan took the words right out of my mouth. And Liz says, my guy is from Calgary and would insist on country. Okay, definitely country. Michael says so. So we're talking about country song about Alberta beef. It's all about steak. I put steel accidentally. Wonderful the wonderful ways to enjoy it. This is going to be written. This is not my lyrics. I'm just giving you an incentive to enjoy or inspiration. Anti-vegetarian theme, poking.
You should put something in there about mouth watering.
Mouth watering beef. Okay.
I'd say moist.
Do we want it to be funny or do we want it to be kind of serious?
Oh, I'm out.
He's out. Funny or serious? For a show called After Dark, this show needs some jazzy saxophone and piano. That's where we're at now. We got the jazzy saxophone stuff kind of happening now. But I need to know. And I'm pressing go, and then we're going to listen to that song. It's really remarkable what it does.
It really is. Like, you've opened my eyes to AI. It's fine.
I can't. I need you in my life. Okay. I'm just checking. Okay, we're just going with it. I'm going with what I got. Okay. We are generating the song. The song is being generated. Funny and serious. I don't know. We're going to see where it's going because I didn't give it any direction other than we're poking fun at vegans. So that in a sense suggests there's some humor going on. Okay, Alberta Beef Blues. That's the title that it came up with. All right, we ready? Are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah. Two-step to that.
Born neath the Rockies, where the air is clean. Grilling Alberta beef is a life serene. Fire up the barbecue, let that sizzle sing. A rabbi in my hand is my kingly ring. Potatoes and greens might take their place, but only beside that tender marbled embrace. Vegans can scoff, but they just don't know the joy of steak, making your taste buds glow. Alberta beef, you're my heart and soul. Charred to perfection, you make me whole. Forget the tofu, forget the beef. Alberta beef, you're all I need. A porterhouse cut, thick as a book. Don't need no kale when I've got this look. Butter dripping down, garlic hits the pan. It's a carnivore's dream, every woman, man. To those eating sprouts, I wish you the best. But the smell of a steak beats all the rest. Get you a filet or a T-bone to try. You'll turn in that lettuce for steak, no lie. Alberta beef, you're my heart and soul. Charred to perfection, you make me whole. Forget the tofu, forget the pea. Alberta beef, you're all I need.
I mean,
you need to send that song to like the Alberta beef producers here, and I'm pretty sure that'll be the next commercial song.
I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to save it for you. I'll send it to you, and you go and distribute that. All rights released to Alberta beef maker, the farmers.
So now
we're supporting
you need
farmers
to do
here.
one about Ontario milk cows and talk about the teats and the milk, because that's what you guys are known for, right?
I don't really want to talk
Dairy?
about teats.
Oh well.
I just foresee that being an uncomfortable conversation.
But it'd be a great song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about milking and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, I think beef is something I care about. I can totally understand that. But I don't want to start talking about dairy cows. All right. With that, I think it's a wrap. Dude, it's been great having another lengthy chat.
Always a pleasure, never a chore.
we'll do it again on Thursday if you're good with it. And yeah, try and keeping it to an hour, maybe an hour and a half. But
I was
let's try
going
and.
to say, every time we talk, if we look back, we say the same thing.
I know, but I'm gonna put
3
like
hours
an
in.
alarm. It's gonna go wow 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 wow. We're gonna do some active trying to time manage these things. It's just it's good fun to hang out with you, my friend. All right, with
Likewise,
that,
buddy.
we say goodnight, and I'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Which I didn't really plan this well, where I do 10 a.m. and then stay up all night and then have to get up and do it all over again.
Right.
Whatever. What is this? Scott Duncan says Chris Guy got 27.89% of the vote. Who's leading candidate to replace Chief Demko at the end of the year? No idea. Don't know. That's but I haven't even heard of. Actually, I saw Chris Sky on a live stream recently. I didn't listen to the live stream, but I saw his face. It was interesting. He was on a podcast of some kind. And Liz supports the no teats.
Well, to each their own.
I don't know if it goes musically. I mean, trying to get rhythm going with that is the
Well, maybe that's the thing. You got to work on your rhythm.
Well, there you go. Well, this is AI. I got no rhythm. Honda Mig says, great to see you on so late. Thanks so much. Good to see you too. Hi from Richmond Hill. That's from Mayron Todd. Then
Hello.
Logan, Honda Mig says, Logan, I can see you're an F1 fan. Guess Max is your favorite. And somebody mentioned earlier asking what your opinion was some driver swap that I totally forgot to ask you because it was on YouTube or another platform.
That's okay.
Just saying. I totally dropped the ball.
We're swapping drivers left, right, and center on my end. So
Is that what's happening?
Yeah. Nobody can
God.
compete with Max. That's okay.
We got dad jokes for the next two. No, I gotta go. But one dad joke from Bruv. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta.
That's not bad. I like that.
I like it. I like it a lot. And Norman is now asking Alexa questions. He wants to know how much is his live birth bond worth. Still with. I mean, listen. I appreciate the brainwashing. It was very effective. You really support this Freeman the Land stuff. Good for you. You got to have. Everyone needs a hobby. Everyone needs a hobby. All right. With that, have a great day. See you tomorrow, 10 a.m. to do this all again for 1 hour, not 3. Just saying.
Bye, everybody.
And we'll call it.